Hello, everybody. Welcome to Twisted Tragedy, where we follow all the twists and turns wherever they lead. I am your host. I have so much space. I don't know what to do with myself right now. I don't know what to do with myself. Doo-da, doo-da. I have so much space. I don't know what to do. Oh, do-da day. You guys have no idea what it feels like right now to have all this space. All this freaking space. All right? All the space. Okay, so the problem is my signs are over here, and now I'm going to have to move them somewhere back here. You know, we're working on something over yonder, but not quite. I mean, see, here's the thing. Half of this room belongs to me, and the other half of this room over this yonder way is sort of like a playroom for the kids. So there's like, bins of their toys over here, and there's like a next to my desk way over here. It's like we have like one of those 3-tiered shelves with like all the games on them, so many games. The kids have so many games. Well, Barbies and games. My kids like my older kids like the murder mystery games that we play together, like solving the murder with like pieces of evidence and stuff. And we have like 8 of those. We love those. And so it's just like one of those big 3-tiered black shelves that are like thick and heavy, just filled with games. So I'm still working on it. It took us all morning, me and my husband. Shout out to my husband. He is a freaking trooper. I sent, Jesse, the pictures, like starting, middle, like this is it. We got this, right? And you have to think I had to unplug everything, right? Move everything from the smaller table I was using, and then replug in everything, freaking connect everything. Well, thank you. I know. Listen. Okay, I know. I should have been in Patriots gear, and I would have. All right, it would have. It freaking would have. It freaking would have. So I didn't have time. All right, I had to like rush to get here because I'm like, usually I do my stream at like 11:30. And it's late, but I needed to put this together, like straight together. So I didn't have time to go get my full. And listen, I have Patriot sweatshirt, long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirt, pants. Like I got the whole get up because I buffering early. I see. Buffering early. I see. Right? Buffering freaking early. Buffering early. StreamYard is, I don't know what it's doing right now. I know. I apologize. It's late, but I had some desk putting together to do today. Okay, had some desk putting together to do. Well, listen. Here's the thing, right? If there is a minute chance that is true, I suspect it's a troll. Hence, why I wrote on the tweet specifically. If this is true, you should contact the people who he was last with. Obviously, if there's a big chance, it's probably not true. But even if there's a tiny little chance that it is, my concern was for the other people who should know, right? For Meredith, she was the last person sort of with him. Had nothing really to do with anybody else, but that is literally why I put the disclaimer on it. Like, if true, I mean, can you imagine if there is a tiny chance that it is and everybody just calls it a troll? I mean, how shitty that would make someone feel. I'm not saying, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, even if there's a 1% chance that it's true, hence why I don't want to have to fight StreamYard this early. I don't. And Jesse told me it was being this way on someone else's too. It's like, I don't even know what it's doing right now. I know you did. You told me. But see, this is the problem, right? For the people who, like me, we pay for this monthly. There's no reason we should be getting this amount of, buffering and whatnot. I was a firewoman. So I was putting out fires. You know what I mean? I was like, wee, where's all the fires? I had helmet. Said fire chief on it, obviously, because I got the blazing babes girl costume. so we had the smoke machine out, and so I took a picture like right next to I sent them to Jesse, saw them. I put them right next to the smoke machine. It's putting out fires, just putting out all the fires everywhere. Everybody had fun. Yeah, I don't understand, like, what is going on, StreamYard? I'm not in the mood for your nonsensical crap today. Hence why I'm wearing my shirt that says, look, nobody gives a shit. That's what it says. Oh, look, nobody gives a shit. Because it's Sunday. I don't give a shit, right? I don't give a shit. I have so much space right now. I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm like, ooh, I can have my laptop over here. I can have my 2 screens up here, and it's like elevated. Put the screens up top, right? And then the desk is down bottom, down here, right? I have so much space. I feel like I can just, instead of like having the table against this way. And, it's working. I love it. I love it so much. I absolutely love it. All right. So we've had a long week. It was a long week, right? There was lots and lots going on. Long freaking week. And lots of craziness happened. Lots of craziness. I needed this. I needed it. I needed the desk. It happened. I needed it. I'm glad I have it. It's perfect. It's amazing. I love it. But now I have somewhere to put my Cricut now. I can put my Cricut over here on the end. It has 2 drawers that I can put stuff in, and like shelves over here, and a little space down under there. I love it. I literally am. It's the little things, Jane. It's the little tiny things. And I'm literally like a kid in a candy store at the moment. Literally. I'm like, ooh, I have so much space. Ooh, I got a new desk. Touchdown Patriots. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Let's go. So yeah, I'm still working on what's going to be going on back there, obviously. I can move these shelves around, shelves I've had for quite some time. I got to do something with my signs that are over on this wall that I kind of need to sort of move probably to that wall behind me in some way, shape, or fashion. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. We got lots of stuff to figure out back there. But that was the least of my concern at the moment, right? I needed to do like the desk itself first and then worry about all that later. I'd love to know like what hotel looks like this, though. Can someone tell me what hotel looks like this? Do hotels have pink shelves and closets that look like this? I'm just wondering. Just asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. Does it? Is it actually a thing, or is it not a thing? I'm just wondering. I am wondering if that's a real life thing. My microphone's over here. I get to how's the sound though? You guys tell me how the sound is. Do I need to move it closer, further away? Like how is the sound? Because obviously I cannot hear myself. So I rely on you guys to tell me how the sound is exactly. That's the other thing is now that the camera goes on top of the screen, right? So I still got to get the right sort of angle, I think, because it's higher up. My chair doesn't go any higher. This is it. I'm at the highest level right now on the chair. So chair doesn't get any higher. So I'm like, am I going to have to try to get like a smaller tripod thing to put the camera on? Or does it feel like you guys are looking down at me? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this yet. All right. There's a lot of little tinkering that has to be done. Lots of tinkering. Lots of little tinkering. So I also have the stand up. I just moved the, because it was near the window and I just took the AC out. We had one of those stand up ACs. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You put the thing in the window and it's like a tube that goes up. We just moved that because it's getting way too cold to have that. So that thing's over here. I got to put it in my storage and I have no idea what I'm going to do with that right now. None at all. If you turn your camera a little to cut your SP on the wall, you won't have to move them. That's true. I mean, but then again, you have to remember, I have to move the whole screen if I do that, right? So, I mean, that's why I'm trying to get them in. They're here, They're backwards. I'm looking at them backwards. I'm assuming you guys can see the words frontwards, right? Not backwards. I see them backwards, but I think it's frontwards for you guys. Thank you, Christina. But yeah, so tell me when you see it on the TV. No, I do not. Nope, not a gamer. I do not game. My chair is a gaming chair because it's comfortable, because it has a pillow. And actually, if I plug it in, it does like this massage thing. It has a pillow that sort of goes back here, and it does this massage thing through the pillow. There's a small pillow, you know. Yeah, the karma sign's going to be blocked because it's kind of further over on the wall over this way, but I'm going to do some moving around to that stuff, obviously. I think some stuff will probably go over here, you know, and maybe something over here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're gonna figure this out. I really want one of those really nifty neon signs that just says, that lights up, that says Twisted Tragedies. And I feel like it should go over here. Well, I guess it would be on the other side for you guys, because every time I point, it's opposite for you guys. So the opposite of where my shelves are, on the other side. My eyelashes are not pink. My eyeshadow is red. Actually, it might look pink to you guys, but my eyeshadow is red. And as a matter of fact, it's really just left over from last night because I just went to sleep and called it a night, and today is Sunday. So this is just a fixer-upper, basically, of me just slapping my eyelashes on and fixing it a little and calling it a day. Because it's freaking Sunday, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Okay, so let's see here. What do we got going on? All right, so yeah, we had a lot of, hold on, I want to move this thingy over here for a second. Whoop. We had a lot of nonsensical bullshit that happened last week. See, Sunday is one of those shows where we just talk about maybe some stuff that happened last week, maybe some stuff we're going to cover next week. Maybe we call out some bad behavior, and I'm going to call out some bad behavior. You know, bad behavior, bad behavior. So the Snow Turtle was busy on Friday. After I was with you guys, right? After I was with you guys, he had decided he's gonna rehash every problem he's ever had with someone ever in his life. Again, and because, well, he has no more, you know, content. So it's time to rehash every person, every woman he's ever been with. And Friday, he decided that he was going to start talking about one of the girls that he had seen for quite some time. And not, I mean, here's the thing. He loves to say everyone's obsessed with him. I'm sorry, but she doesn't go around like writing down who you commented to on what days. That's psychotic shit, bro. Okay. And out of desperation and without checking with her friend, which is me, I would have given her the advice of no, don't. But out of somebody sent her the screenshot of what he posted, and out of desperation, she called him and begged him to leave her the fuck alone. Right. Which is pretty sad. She begged him, just leave me alone, dude. I haven't said a single thing about you online in over a fucking year. Please just leave me alone. You know? Like, come on, just leave me alone. You know? Like, leave me alone. And he couldn't. He couldn't. And what did he decide he was going to do in that phone call? Not say, okay, you know what? You're right. No. You know what he did in that phone call? First, he demanded, and I mean demanded, not asked, but demanded. Okay, no, Kara, who was a friend of mine. So she, you know, called him and said, please, like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't know why you're like rehashing your problem with me from over a year ago. Like, I want nothing to do with you, basically. Like, what do you want from me? What do you fucking want from me? Right? Can you please just leave it? She's in tears. Just leave me alone. No, she's got a life. She has nothing to do with him. She can't stand him. And here he is on the phone, like the piece of human garbage that he fucking is, demanding demanding, and I mean demanding, that she get online and write under a comment, okay? I know, I wouldn't have done it, but I mean, she's one of those people who's a lover, not a fighter. You know what I mean? Like a people pleaser, right? You can't please a narc, and the more you pander to them, the more they're going to do it because they get some sort of sick fucking pleasure out of it, right? So believe me, I had that conversation with her. But so I'm like, is he for real? So he's demanding that she, a friend of ours, Julie, wrote a comment under hers. It was like, you want nothing to do with him. Nobody is obsessed with anybody except him being obsessed with every woman he's ever fucking dated, and it's weird. It's fucking weird, okay? So Julie writes a comment that he doesn't like. He doesn't like that comment. He doesn't like that Julie is literally saying, I've known you for this amount of time and you've never expressed any interest in him. As a matter of fact, you can't stand him, right? He didn't like that comment. He wanted her to get back on Twitter and write under that comment that she had thrown herself at him. He demanded that she write that comment. Then further, he demanded that she get back onto Twitter and disparage me, Julie, Karen from True Crime and Wine, and any of the people he doesn't like that she is friends with. And when she refused, he started screaming and yelling, right? Then when she refused, what do you think the first words out of his mouth were right after she refused? I'm recording you. Dude hasn't learned his lesson. That's very fucking clear to me, right? Very clear. I gave my advice to her to call the police station, make a fucking report again, because it's not the first report she's made of this with him. There's been multiple instances. Make a report, go file for an RO or an HPO if you fucking have to. Let the cops file criminal charges further, because at this point, this is not the first time he has demanded she do something. Before, he demanded she give passwords to things, let him see X, Y, and Z, say this, this, and this. I mean, what kind of, I kid you not when I say she's on the phone with him and he is literally rattling off dates, guys. Dates. You wrote on Kim Fair's Twitter on, I'm just making up dates, but October 8th. And you wrote on Kate Peters' Twitter on fucking September 12th. And you wrote on Twisted Tragedies stream 3 weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. Who's obsessed with who here, sir? I'm just let me get this straight. Let me just fucking get this straight. You're monitoring who she writes a comment to? And on what date? And you don't think that's obsessive and psychotic? What the fuck? No, Kara. No. And that's another thing. His only problem with Esty is that, God forbid, she be friends with someone like me. Right? That and his petty jealousy of her, which is just gross at this fucking point. Okay? It's gross. And I will die on this hill. Okay? I will die on this fucking hill. If you have never interacted with someone and you have never met someone, then you don't have a right to judge. So all of these idiot turtle riders that just listen to what he says and repeats these fucking talking points and attacks every person he throws the dog whistle for should be ashamed of themselves. What did Esty do to anybody? As a matter of fact, she was kind to pretty much everyone over there. And what did she get for it? She didn't just get the kindness back, which is all she was looking for, right? She wasn't looking for anything but just the same respect that she gave them. And they couldn't even fucking do that, right? When she's not useful anymore to them or she won't fall in line, that's when the attacks happen. And make no mistake, she won't be the last person. This happens to many people. If you will not fall in line, if you say things that are true, but that's going to get him in trouble because he shouldn't have been doing X, Y, and Z, you are literally part of that team that is going to be attacked into oblivion. Hello. Yeah, of course he did. It's going to expose Lauren's stalking claims as fake. I don't even know what that means either. Like what stalking claims? Like what is he even talking about? You know what I mean? Like that's the other thing. Like, buddy, you live in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? What is Tennessee? Dude, I live here. I know what the fuck is going on. Also, considering that I help the victims, I have lots of pieces of evidence that he's never seen a day in his fucking life. He has no idea what's actually going on. Maybe he should stay in Tennessee and worry about what the fuck's going on there, right? If he didn't care so much about kissing Aiden's ass, maybe he would know that there are many, many victims out there. Like, does he think it's okay that in demand that women do this, this, and this, like he was doing on Friday? I mean, you're out on bail, my dude. On bail. You're on bail. You're on fucking bail. All right? And you're over here demanding that a woman do X, Y, and Z for you to stop attacking her. That's called blackmail. That is illegal. I mean, I don't know what, she's just so used to doing it, right? Oh, Lard from Hidden True Crime. Got it. He's so used to fucking doing it, right? That he just doesn't even think twice, he just automatically does it. What does that fucking tell you about him? You know? What does that tell you about him? He's so used to blackmailing that he just automatically goes into to blackmail. Yeah, not the same thing. Not the same thing. Like blackmail and extortion, not the same thing. Not the same thing. Well, you know what I mean? Like, you're not welcome here, bro. Sorry, not sorry. You know? That's the other thing. I don't know why you would think you could, you know what I mean? That just doesn't make logical sense to me. All right? But here you are on a Friday night attacking someone who hasn't said a fucking word about you publicly, and I don't even know how long, and then demanding that she get online and disparage her friends that you don't like, and then demanding that she write that she threw herself at you so you can prove yourself right. I mean, how fucking sick do you have to be? How sick? How sick? He is, Karen. He is, and that's half the fucking problem. He is. He's so used to getting away with this shit. So fucking used to it. And it's like, at what point do you learn your lesson? Is there a point where you learn your lesson, or is there none? You just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it? I mean, make it make sense to me. You know? And like I said, I don't know anything about that whole thing other than I really hate to hear someone say anything about them wanting to harm themselves. That's my biggest problem, right? No one should feel like that. No one, especially when it comes to like the internet. I don't think that it should ever be something that people, you know, you are on the internet and you're a content creator, or you're just, you know, someone who watches a content creator, and then you're, you know, harassed into oblivion. I mean, you know, I don't know, but I do know what it's like to be attacked by a bunch of people for no real reason because someone else said so. So that's the other thing. You know what I mean? Like that's the other thing that I have kind of a problem with, which is there are plenty of people who have been attacked, especially when it comes to the sewer turtle, and they're attacked, and then what happens? You have an influx of all these people just repeating the same bullshit lies that he feeds them. That becomes thousands of people over years and years and years because they just keep getting perpetuated over and over and over and over and over. That's not cool. You know, that's not all right. And it happens all the time, you know, all the freaking time. One second, guys. Let me see. I just want to put my little thingy here on. Also, I didn't do this in the beginning. See, I can't even talk today. The beginning of the show. I didn't watch the whole 9 hours. I don't know how you did it, girl. Listen, I applaud you because I don't even know where I would find 9 hours. You know? She dropped it? Dropped a restraining order? Restraining orders nowadays aren't, they used to be, you know, way easier to get. Nowadays they're not in some states not easy at all. No Mean Girl Machado stream Saturday. I wonder, usually isn't it Sunday? Doesn't she do like Sunday mornings or something? Doesn't she do like a Sunday morning live stream, like 9 in the morning or something? You know? Yeah, I couldn't watch the whole 9 hours. My biggest problem was the whole someone feeling like that, you know, and you guys know how strongly I feel about suicide and why. you know? Me too, Karen. I really wish they would. I really freaking, and I agree, that shouldn't happen, right? So there's 300,000 people that she has as followers. What's going to happen to the other person? This is what I mean. Like, this is the big problem, right? This is the big problem. 300,000 people that watched her 9-hour live stream. Now you have 300,000 people that might go berserk, right? And this is why when you're saying something, you can't, using your followers as a way to harass other people, in my opinion, is just not okay. Just, it's not okay. Bottom line. And I don't care if it's, 100,000 or 40,000. It's just not. This is why I always tell you guys, do not, and I mean do not, use my stream to harass anyone. I don't care who it is. Nobody. Of course, defend yourselves, if you're being attacked. You have every right to do that. But do not use, my stream. I can handle it. I'm used to it at this point. It's pile on time on me. I knew it was coming the second that I publicly was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep helping his victims, whether they like it or not, whether he likes it or not. Oh, fucking well. I knew I would get slack from all ends of people who didn't like that. And it is what it is. I'm not going to bow down to anyone. I'm just not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to fucking happen. And that's the other thing. She didn't even mention your name. Why are you mentioning hers? Like, you could talk about something without doing that, Yeah, nighttime is tough for me. It's tough for me. Interesting. Usually I know it's mornings or on the weekend she does or something like that. See, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a ripple effect, right? It's a ripple effect. It's just like none of it is okay. None of it. They do. They have to have it. I don't think it's just big. Smaller creators have to, gotta have that. Everyone should have that responsibility. Everyone should have that responsibility to make sure that you're not, sending. She could have talked about it without, both of them could have talked about it without mentioning each other. That way nobody would know where to go to, unleash their anger or whatever, and I feel like it's always someone, you're welcome. You're totally welcome. See, that's the part of this community that I love, that's the part of the community that I love, that when someone has that issue, we can figure it out together, Yeah, no, everybody, of course, can have their own opinion. Absolutely. Of course they can. I do not. I have no freaking idea. But see, that's the problem, right? Like, nobody wants to, see anyone be attacked or harassed or anything like that. It's gross at this point. That's what I'm trying to stop, right? And it's unfortunate because we're dealing with a man who's a hypocrite, right? In one side of his mouth, he says that everyone else is a ratchet and everybody else needs to be responsible and take accountability, yet he will not take accountability for a single fucking thing. Not a single fucking thing. Yet here we are with him on a Friday night calling and demanding, and well, she called him to beg him to stop in tears, of course, like, please leave me alone. And instead he demands that she go disparage her friends and write that she, she threw herself at him just so he could prove himself right. Oh yeah, I'll stop if you do all these things I want you to do. I mean, that's just gross. Anybody who backs that kind of behavior, I don't have to worry about one of my friends trying to fucking blackmail me. That's weird. You know what I mean? Anybody who's backing that kind of behavior needs to know what kind of person they're dealing with. I love the ones that sit there and say, well, he would never be that stupid. Turtleboy would never be that dumb. He would never do these things, ever. Yet he's doing them, still. And they go, well, he's out on bail. Nobody would be that stupid. Here we are. Here we sit. Here we fucking sit. Here we sit. I mean, I think you can check. I mean, I don't know if everybody has it on, but there are transcripts usually that you can go and look, on the transcript to see instead of watching like a whole 9 hours. I couldn't. This buffering is going to be the death of me today. It's going to be the death of me. All right, I didn't do this in the beginning because I was so excited about my desk that I didn't even think to do this in the beginning because I was so excited about my desk. But, girl, I feel you on this. Like, deep in my soul, I feel you on this. It is a fucking struggle out there. That is for damn sure, my friend. That is for damn sure. So, let me get to this real quick because I totally forgot. For those of you who appreciate the stream, for those of you that, you know, support my channel and support coming here and watching and liking and interacting and being a part of this community, there are a bunch of different ways you can help support us. Get yourself a membership. We have those. You can give to other people memberships. That's also fun. You can get a super chat or a super sticker. You can send one of those, or you can do the most direct routes to creator. And this is for any creator. If you guys are watching any creator, I suggest you give the most direct route, which is Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Revolut. I have Chime. And then we have a link over in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. You can click on, you can use credit or debit, and enter any amount you want to support the channel. We are a small channel, so we have no sponsors, no corporate, you know, overlords, no other creators telling us what we can say and what we can't say. That's how we sort of keep it honest, because there is nobody, you know, putting pressure on me to say or not say anything. You know, unlike some of the sewer squad, I don't have to follow the lead of someone else to get their viewers, right? I built this community from the ground up myself, and I will continue to build it from the ground up myself, but I can't do that without you guys' help. It's not possible without you guys' help. Without the help of all of you, well, I'm shit out of luck now, aren't I? So any and all help is greatly appreciated. We also have an Amazon wish list. I need to figure out who ordered so I was going onto the Amazon wish list. I was like, damn, somebody ordered, I think it was you, but I don't know, this pink stand mixer that I had on it. It's a beautiful gift. Problem is I think it said it came off a couple days ago and it still didn't arrive yet. So this morning I emailed Amazon and was like, or did the chat option and was like, hey, still didn't get here yet. Like, did it say delivered? Is it like, you know, not in stock and it's waiting? Like, and then, of course, the guy on the other end of the chat really didn't have any answers for me. So I was like, can you just resend it if there's an issue? Like, what's happening? And the guy was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I'm like, I should have gotten a email, right away. You're supposed to get an email after you talk to them. I didn't get an email. So I'm like, oh, for the love of God, you know, they asked me for like the order number and it's like, I just told you it's from my wish list. I don't have an order number because I'm not the one who ordered it, genius. So whoever it was that ordered it, you might want to call Amazon or check and see if it's just delayed, or if it was supposed to have been delivered, it wasn't, and if they did what I asked them to do. Because, you know, weird. Weird. Oh, for the love of God. Wait, what's happening? Wait, who's happening? Wait, whoa. I don't, am I missing seeing a person in chat? I'm so confused right now. Let's not argue, guys. We can agree to disagree on stuff, right? Right. Does somebody have me blocked in my own chat? I'm confused. I don't see. I don't see this person in my own chat. I'm very confused. Or is it a different name that I'm just not seeing? I don't know who that is. I don't see any comments. So I don't understand how they could have me blocked and be in my chat. That doesn't really make sense to me. Can Jesse, can you send me a screenshot? I can't see it. How could she block me and be in my chat, though? Are we bullying TV? Yeah, boot them. I'm not playing that game. It might be one thing, but if I can't see her comments, though, that means she has me blocked in my own chat. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even see their comments at all. I can't see anything they're saying, which if they have me blocked and they're in my chat, then out they go. I don't have time for that. I can't even see what they're saying. So if you have me on blocked in my own chat, that's kind of weird. Like, I can't see anything that they're saying at all. I think that maybe would happen, Eisenberg, because otherwise I'd be able to see what they're saying. It's weird, you know? Yeah. I mean, I'm in the back end. Hey, Maestro. I'm on the back end, so I'm not even on, like, all chat. I'm in the back end, so I see everything, no matter what. So I'm not, like, watching the front of it. I'm in the back of it. Let me see. Yeah, if I can't see that person's comments, and there's something going on. If they didn't block me, then how can I not see them? I could see everyone else's comments. And let's be clear here, I don't bully. I tell facts. There's facts, okay? This is something he just did. All right? Everyone's allowed to defend themselves, but there are people who can't even defend themselves. Right? So it's not just me. I can't see any of it. Can't see any of it. None of it. Thank you, girls. Thank you. They're gone, Carol. They're gone. I couldn't even block them, if I wanted to, because I can't see anything. Treadmill, maybe. You trying to make me look bad, freak? I can't. I probably need to get it on a treadmill, but cannot. Me and StreamYard are going to fight. I'm not going to keep doing this buffering bullshit. Yeah, well, Jessie sent me a screenshot of her comments, but I can't see anything. And if she has Aiden as her profile, I don't know what the hell she's doing here. You know what I mean? Like, if you back that behavior, I don't know what you're doing here, realistically. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. There's no reason that you would be here other than to defend the indefensible, right? People are allowed to have an opinion and defend themselves when attacked by him. If you don't like that, go take it up with him. Take it up with his fucking behavior and the shit that he does. Don't know what to tell you. If you don't like it, oh friggin' well. That it's like common sense. If you don't like that people have to defend themselves against the constant attacks, talk to the person doing the constant fucking attacks. If you have no idea who this man is, maybe don't defend him. I am telling you what he did behind closed doors on a Friday fucking night. That's what he decided to do. To rehash the fact that someone else stood up to him a while back and he doesn't like it and wants to make her out to be some, whatever. Like the way he does with every single woman he's ever been with, eventually. I mean, come on. Does not anybody see that pattern at this point? You know what I'm saying? Leave it to Grave to make you laugh out of nowhere. Hey, Maestro. Oh. Well, they don't have a wrench. They probably just have like a wrench next to their name. You know what I mean? Like they put an emoji wrench, because there's only like 5 people that have a wrench to this channel, period. So they didn't have a wrench here. They probably just put like a wrench next to their channel. It fools people. They'll go into other chats making people think they're a mod, or they'll copy people's names, and it's weird shit. Don't ask me why, but they do. There's exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. Scorpio, Ashley, Julie, Ellen, freaking Jesse. That's it. Only mods I got. So, yeah. See, that's the difference, right? You can't bully someone who is constantly bullying other people. There's a big difference between bullying and giving facts. I'm not bullying him, all right? First of all, my channel's this big. A channel this big can't bully a channel this big. Come the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Come the ever-loving fuck on. That's utterly ridiculous, number one. All right, number two, I'm calling out his shit-ass fucking behavior because this is the shit people don't see, right? The shit people don't see is the shit he was doing on Friday night. He just expected no one would know about it. He expected Kara would be too afraid to say anything to anyone, and she wouldn't have anybody to stick up for her because in the past, she's just done whatever he asked to get him to leave her alone. He expected that. He didn't expect her to stand up or talk to her friends who will then do it on her behalf because we know she's not a fighter, she's a lover, and she's afraid. I'm sorry, but no one should be afraid. That's not normal. It's not normal, okay? Not normal. You know, I might, because I'm getting a little ridiculous with this, and it's not just me either. Actually, Jesse told me earlier another channel was like, you know, it's getting a little crazy. Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're being shadow banned. I have no idea. No freaking idea, you know? Or if someone like Cinnamon Toast Kim, I don't know who that is, but yeah, here's the thing. I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, again, he's a narcissist. Narcissists don't listen to anybody about any fucking thing. You know what I mean? They just do whatever. They have no control over their emotions either. You know, it's constant. Don't let the door. My grandmother used to say, "Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you." Anybody's grandparents say that? My nana used to say that, you know? Well, most of his coverage has been surrounding other people, and a lot of the time it's someone pays to have him put a story out about someone they don't like, and he doesn't check those facts. He just puts it out there because he was paid to do so. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens. Let's see. Hello, Pats 24 to 13, third quarter, right? Carol is our personal commentator. Let us know what's going on. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Hello, Ellen. I mean, that's not normal. See, I don't know who those people are, but I mean, I think it's deplorable no matter what way you slice it, right? Creating these sort of backdoor cults. And I'm sorry, but I don't know about those other creators, but this is what it is. With him, it is an actual cult. There's actual brainwashing happening to the point where some of these people coming out of it are actively saying, this is a cult. And I can admit that I was in a cult. The fact that I have heard that from more than a dozen people is a fucking problem. If anybody doesn't think that that's a problem, I can't help you then. Your brain cells aren't working, you know? Field goal, Pats 31 to 13. They are fucking crushing it right now, right? They are crushing it. Well, it is. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. I don't like it. Door's over there, you know? Well, you know, that's the thing. I think it's starting to sort of catch up with him now. But this has been a long, long time coming, and there's still people that are very, very, very brainwashed. That's exactly it. It's like shock jocking. You know what I mean? But you're shock jocking at other people's expense because you have petty jealousy issues. That's pretty sad. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know. You could never be on the radio. Nobody would fucking listen to him. You know, that's half the problem. Howard Stern wannabe. Howard Stern was at least funny. you know? It's not, I mean, the only thing funny about him is his fucking ball sack, wrinkly face, you know? It's the only thing funny, you know? Hey, it's me. Technically, it is wiretapping unless they tell him. If they say to him, hey, I'm recording you, I mean, then it's not wiretapping. But yeah, you can't record without his knowledge with the threats. It's unfortunate, but that's the law here. So you can't do that. But again, we're talking about, he recorded Karen. He just halfway through said conversation with this woman, he says, I'm recording you. Like, guy, oh, I got marker on my arm. Halfway through the conversation. Halfway through. That means what? He was probably recording her since the beginning of the conversation, right? Which would be wiretapping. You can't tell someone halfway through the conversation. And even if he did do it midway through and decided midway through he was going to, record her, why? Okay? Again, use your brain here, people. Why? The only reason you would want to record people like that is to try to humiliate them, try to make them look bad. Use it as some sort of tactic of blackmail to say, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to release this. Let's be real here, okay? He learned nothing. From all the blowback he just got with Karen Reed, nothing. He learned not a fucking thing. You guys think he's going to magically, these turtle riders who think it's like a one-off and he's magically going to change his fucking behavior. No, he's not going to change his behavior. He's going to keep doing the same things he's been doing for 10 plus fucking years. Okay? Why? Because it worked for 10 years. For 10 years, he didn't get in trouble for doing any of it. Unfortunately, there are more eyes on him now than ever. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you there. I wish someone would. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to, unfortunately. It is what it is. But yeah, you couldn't record somebody without their knowledge, even if they were threatening you. It is wiretapping. Technically, that's the thing. But that's where you would, hopefully call the police and make a report on it. It's, for me, backtrack, yeah, but only on certain people, right? He'll backtrack a little because, let me make something clear here. He's very obsessed with his numbers, right? So he lost, 2,000. He wants to gain 2,000 back. He's obsessed with numbers. Obsessed with how many people are subscribing or unsubscribing to him. What he doesn't seem to realize is the more he shows himself to people, the more bad behavior that he does, which proves the other behaviors that he's accused of, people are going to keep fucking unsubscribing, right? That's what's going to happen. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to sell those tickets. Well, he will. He has a hearing. And so those violations will come in when she goes to court. So and let me remind you, there's many violations right now. From just Donna alone, never mind the other woman from New Jersey that he has violated it right away. Discord servers. Interesting. He's not going to listen to Mike. And Mike did try to tell him in the nicest way possible without saying enough to get himself attacked. And he basically said that, He basically said that. It is what it is. I mean, it's not even post Melissa. It was like that during. People just didn't know about some of the stuff that was happening behind closed doors. That's the problem, is it was never just only after the trial. This stuff has been going on since before the first trial. A lot of it. It was just behind closed doors, and most of us knew about it and most of you didn't. That's the difference, right? Now it's spilling out into the public realm, where a little would spill out here and there during, but everything was kept very hush-hush because it was during the trial. And people like me still called it out. But people weren't listening, so it is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, he'll have to deal with those in court, you know? But yeah, he's trying to sell those tickets. Ticket sales, you know what I mean? I totally get it. It's busy, you know? And good for you. Theses are a pain in the ass when you're trying to do all that. So good for you. That's what you should be working on, you know? Nope, I said Kara, not Karen. Nope, 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 nope. It's definitely not what I said at all. Please don't put words in my mouth. I said Kara, not Karen. Two different people. Two completely different people. They're not going to pivot though. They're not. Here's the problem. Okay. If you pivot to other cases, which we did after the trial, you have to know how to read a legal document. Okay. You have to know what a motion is and which kinds of motions are for what. You have to know legal jargon. You have to even know definitions of simple words. Like, for instance, when you go to a restraining order or an HPO and it says family members or household members, right? Well, in the definition of household members for the state of Massachusetts includes, even if you did not live with them, boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, things of that nature. So if you don't even know those definitions of things like that, how do you can't, right? Everything for the Reed case was given to them. Given to them. They didn't have to work for it. They didn't have to figure it out on their own. It was given to them, right? They could have pivoted to many of the other cases we covered after. They chose not to because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Also, let's be clear here. Aiden was never a true crime channel. He is not a true crime channel. Never has been. Never will be. Not by a long shot. You know? No, he's not going to change. Ever. Going to keep doing the same shit that he's been doing, you know? I'm sure it's not already sold out. I would assume it's already sold out, right? No? Maybe? No? Maybe no? No? Maybe? I don't know if there's a way to look even to see, but I would assume it's probably already sold out. She's okay. So yeah, I mean, we did a little update the other day. Someone was arrested for that. Yeah, you're right, Heisenberg. It's not going to work for them. It's just not. But yeah, we had an update. Someone was arrested. The problem is they won't tell us who because that person has been turned on the first person and is going to be a witness. So they technically have like certain witness protections for being a witness. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Unfortunately, we'll find out one way or another who it was because I'll just, they can't keep it as an open, active investigation forever. So either they're going to be arraigned or I'm just going to FOIA the list of who was arrested that week, right? One way or another, I'm going to find out who both of the people are that were involved in it. And I can't, she has no other enemies, right? It's kind of common sense at this point. She doesn't have any other enemies. YBE, I feel like it's still unpopular, right? To call out shit behavior when people are harming other people. I think it's still unpopular, to be honest. Like, it's definitely not super popular where people are like, good, great. I think, this has been a us versus them for so long that some people can't get out of that us versus them sort of mentality and realize where the real damage is being done. Real lives are being affected. There are real victims here. He's not a good person. He's a shitty human being. That's a fact, okay? That's an absolute fact. On a Friday night, you're attacking someone you saw forever ago, all right? And then when they call you in tears saying, please leave me the fuck alone. I don't know why you won't leave me alone. You're rattling off dates well, you commented on Twisted Tragedies on this date, and you commented on Kim Fair on this date, you commented on Kate's stream on this date, or Kate's comment on this date. That's obsessive, and you want to talk about her being obsessed with you? No, sir. She doesn't even like you. Okay, she doesn't like you. That's obsessive. Telling somebody what date they commented on something. Why do you care what date she commented on something of someone you don't like if you think she's horrible, right? If you think she's this thing and that thing, why do you care what date she commented on what? Why are you demanding, not even asking, demanding that she go back onto Twitter and disparage her friends that you don't like? Does that not sound obsessive and insane to you? Meanwhile, out of the other side of his mouth, he tries to say she's obsessed with him. How is she obsessed with you? Is she calling you? Is she asking you for a date? No, obviously not. She doesn't even like you. It's not hard to figure out. She ain't into you, bro. It's been in a very, her own relationship for close to a year now. Like, what do you want from her? You just want to rehash every woman you dated and why you think they're horrible? There's one common denominator, Aiden, and it's you. That's the other thing. It's constant. There's nothing else he has to talk about. And he literally admitted to Mike, there's nothing else, But yes, she's okay. No, it isn't. The petty insults are a little ridiculous because if you're going on about what they're talking about, right? They'll talk about something, then throw an insult. Talk about something, then throw an insult. So do you have anything else to do besides that? Can you cover a case without insulting someone that has nothing to do with said case? Neither one of them can do it. Neither one of them. Yeah, see, that's the thing. You don't want to be sued, right? Nobody wants to be sued. That's crazy, Well, that's a fact, an absolute fact, I mean, again, I don't know anything really about that. My biggest problem was anybody feeling like they, want to harm themselves like that. I've heard that from a lot of people, and it was just really my correlation between that and the people that I've had to pull off this ledge from Aiden harassing their lives into oblivion and using his viewers to do it. Like that's my drawing the correlation there, because no one, and I mean nobody, should ever feel that way ever. And you guys know my stance on that, Which names? No, not yet. Not yet. We're working on it, Carol. We're working on it. Yeah, that's journalism, let me tell you. Yep, very journalistic, when you don't check your information, that's not journalistic. You're just putting out nonsensical bullshit. That's called a rumor mill, a gossip column. I think I've said this multiple times, but she's a woman that he dated for a while, way back when, at the same time as a couple other women that they all didn't know about each other. And one of the reasons why he got caught was because I answered a question that someone asked me, and they all correlated and figured out what the fuck was going on. And so that's why I'm his public enemy number one, which he didn't want to tell people, is because he got caught. And it's essentially my fault because I didn't lie for him, nor did I know I was supposed to, and it's not my job to lie for anybody. And yeah, so there's that. Yeah, these are real lives. They're not characters in a book or a movie. They're real, real. Oh, absolutely. But this is something that I've been doing long before, Chris, and Chris has definitely taken heat for it, but I've been, trying to point this shit out for quite some time now, because I don't want to see another person feel the way that some of these other people have felt. I don't want to see another person be harmed in all of this, right? There's too many already. If your content is solely related on harming people, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a serious freaking problem. Right. I mean, that's the other thing. You have to take all of that into account, you know? Yeah. So yeah, it was a relationship from a while back. But he's rehashing every last petty issue he had with anyone, you know? Every petty little issue with any single person is getting rehashed because he doesn't have any other content, apparently, you know? Um, yeah, I mean, be nice to hear from, you know, a third party, but will we? Who knows? You know? She doesn't have a channel, no. She doesn't, no, what do you mean, had a channel? She doesn't have a channel. Okay, let me be very clear here. Kara is not Karen, okay? Kara dated Aiden forever ago. Not the same people. I thought I was clear about that earlier. Not even close. Kara has no channel. She has no channel. She's a normal person who has a Twitter account like everyone else. She's a normal human who has just a Twitter account, social media like everyone else on planet Earth. Oh, he has a huge track record. That's the other thing people like to put their blinders on and forget, right? Or the other part of it, which is a lot of people didn't start following him until the Cameron Reed case, so they have no idea his history and track record. And when people point it out to them, they do this. I don't want to see it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Like, come on. Years ago, but he likes to say that he didn't lose. See, that's the thing. So he gives the narrative that he's never lost, right? Even though he has, you know, he's lost a couple. He still gives the narrative that he never has. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a bold-faced lie. Right, exactly. Huge problem. You know, you have known since January, but God, it's been going on so much longer than that. You know, so much longer than that. And that's the other thing. Nobody's ants, right? In an ant farm that can just be controlled around and moved around like pieces. You know, it seems that way. It seems that way. That people are more willing to at least listen. But I mean, there's a lot of people still with those blinders, you know, still with those blinders. And that sucks, you know, because it could save a lot of people a lot of heartache because any one of those people are the next victim. They don't even realize it, you know? They just are, you know? Right. So that's the other thing. I don't think people caught that she said that, you know? That's a very good point, economist. You are 100% right on that, right? She said she fell out with him as eventually everyone does. Now that's a very telling statement. And many people did not pick up on that, you know? Oh, yeah, you guys. So by the way, so I figured out, remember I told you guys I got an email that my store wasn't checking out, my merch store wasn't checking out for Canada. Well, apparently I had to add like international, you know, I had to like tinker with it and add international. So all the checkout should be working now for everywhere. It wasn't working before. But so we just had someone buy the cup, on Journal Tears cup, and it should be able to be shipped now to Canada for them, which I am super happy about. So remember, we do have the new merch in the merch store, the new sweatshirts. Everything should be good to go if you're looking to get any of that stuff. I'm still working on more merch to put in the store, stuff with its, you know, the logo on it and stuff like that, just like the show's logo and stuff. But that stuff is the stuff that's already in there. It's good to go. Let me see if I can actually pull up, show it to you guys for a second here. Go to shopping. Stores. New store. So let's pull this up and show you guys for the ones who haven't seen it. My store. So obviously this is my icon, right, in the background there. So everything should be working as it should right now. I'm working on more stuff, obviously, but this is the cup that they bought, and you know, I do apologize that Canada is kind of a pain in the behind when it comes to all that extra money you have to pay for shipping. It's not my fault though. Yes, I still believe she's a killer. Do you think that I magically changed my mind? I did not magically change my mind. Yes, I think she is guilty. Absolutely 100% think she's guilty. I don't know why that's a problem. Like, I've been very, very clear here on my channel. My position has not changed. That is my position. Has not changed, that's not going to change. The difference is people can come here, right, and still agree to disagree on that and not insult each other, harass each other, call each other names, put people's personal information out there, pictures of their families, pictures of their children, try to dig up every tiny little thing they think someone might have done, twist things into oblivion, make mountains out of molehills, and so on and so forth. Well, I mean, it would stand to reason that if I think she's guilty, that I think that she lied. No? Yeah. No? Kind of common sense, yeah? Kind of common sense. No? Yeah? No? Mm-hmm. Just saying. But once again, there are a lot of people here who think she's innocent. And then there are a lot of people here who think she's guilty. Except, see, we coexist. Isn't that amazing? We can do that. Right? We can coexist without having this sort of anger and vitriol. We can do that. It's amazing. It's amazing, right? It's amazing how people can do that. They can agree to disagree on something, kind of like religion or politics, and they don't have to, you know, harm each other. We can agree to disagree, you know? Gee, I don't know. Maybe because I have more information than you do privately. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe, just maybe I have more information than you do. Maybe, just maybe, I don't know, you've heard the clips. Are you someone who's going to actually claim they're like AI and don't exist? I mean, they're AI, they don't exist. Someone else recorded it. You know, it was all the 17 excuses. Come on. Come on. Let's be real here. You know? Let's be real. Also, because I know the things Aiden has done previously and it tracks with his entire track record. And because privately, I have way more information than you do. That's why. Because I know you shouldn't lie about that, because I know more than you do. I mean, this whole thing that he didn't do it and maybe it was someone else that recorded him, it's nonsensical, okay? It's ridiculous, and it's not true. If you're willing to ignore 75 things just to defend him, then, I mean, come on. It's not AI. The documentary crew did not record it. There was nobody with him. He wasn't in another state. He took his first phone, put it on speaker, and talked to Karen, and did what he has done that he always does, in which I have plenty of instances to prove. And he put his other phone on video and recorded the call. He has done it a billion times. It is the exact same way he does it every single time. Just because you lie about one thing doesn't mean you lie about every tiny thing. Now, maybe I would say, yep, she's just a liar if there wasn't evidence to back up that claim. Now, there is evidence to back up the recording claim. So therefore, yes, it's true. So if you're not talking about the recordings, what the hell are you talking about then? Because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Okay? It's really not hard here. Okay? He's a liar. He just is. Bottom line. Do I think she lied? Yes, I do. Do I think she lied about the recording? No, because I have more information privately than you do publicly. That's a fact, right? Facts are facts. It doesn't matter. So people have this hard time understanding that if I don't like person A and I think they lied about something, and I don't like person B, and person A says something truthful about person B, or person B says something truthful about person A, that I can't then go with what the facts show just because I don't like person A or person B. No, the facts are the facts. The truth is the truth. You can't change it. You can't argue it. It's not debatable. It's wild, right? It's wild. It's crazy. You know? Crazy. I mean, it feels that way, you know? Well, see, that's the thing. He lost control a long time ago. It wasn't just this, even when he was doing the small stuff. Even when he was doing the small stuff. Because he got caught in many different things, even when he was doing the small stuff of lying to people. And, you know, it would be, a bunch of other people were lying and everyone else was a liar but him. And then it would come out later on that that person was right and he attacked them. And so then a bunch of people would be like, yeah, I'm not backing that. And they would disappear. And then a bunch more people would come and not know. And it's like a pattern. It's over and over and over and over and over, you know? Over and over and over. It's not hard. He did. It's a piece of shit for that. Piece of shit for that. Hey, Donna, how are you doing, my friend? You know, how are you doing? What JFK texts? Which ones are you talking about? We do. We love and support you. 100%. Hey, Sam. Yeah, see, that's not going to happen here because I just don't have the patience. I don't have the patience for people like this. I just don't. I don't. If you're here to, like, you know, defend your leader, see you later. I'm doing it. Go defend your leader somewhere else. Aiden recorded her. If you don't like it, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. He did it. Period. You think he magically shut up? He doesn't shut up about anything. Do you think someone goes, I can't talk about it because my attorneys told me not to? Do you think his attorneys are going to tell him not to unless he has some criminal liability? I mean, come on, let's use our fucking brain cells here, people. It's not hard. It's really not hard. 1 + 1 = 2 here. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But hi, Sam. How are you? How are you? Thank you, Carol. Thank you. And we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Oh, you lost advertising years, for years, I mean, it's kind of cringe and it's a lot of like really sexual, cringy, weird shit. I don't know, I don't know. It's weird. It's not, I don't know. It's weird. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Of course he did. Of course he did. I have no idea, but I will tell you this. If he did these ridiculous streams where he only shows you guys what he wants to show you guys, that's what he does, right? He'll show you the text he wants to show you. He'll crop them. He'll take parts of what he said and parts of the context out, and then he'll make them ahead of time and move them into the order that he wants them in. So you're not getting the full context. You're not knowing everything that's happening. And he wants it that way, because if you got the full context and you saw the entirety of it without his parts removed, you'd feel differently. Hence why he does it. Hence why he does it. Angie, I don't know what you're not understanding, darling. This stream is not about Karen Reed and her case, okay? So if you find it so funny, please find it funny somewhere else. So that means you're coming here to start a problem. I will not put up with it. He recorded it. That's how I know. He recorded it. The answer is he recorded it. He recorded it. Because I know. That's how. Because I know. Keels passed away. She was another content creator, and unfortunately she passed away while, she had an accident while we were streaming. She fell. She was, older and had lung capacity that was less than you and I, and she was going from the kitchen back to her computer, and she fell. And we thought maybe it would just be her hip and she'd be okay. And we woke up the next morning. We had to move the stream. She had gotten taken in the ambulance, and then we woke up the next morning and she had passed. It was awful. It was awful, awful, awful. But we miss her dearly, If you think it sounded like he didn't record it, then I really don't know what to tell you, okay? He did record it. He recorded it with his second phone, the same way he records everyone else, the exact same way. It is a video. It is not an audio, okay? Just FYI, all right? It's a video. He puts his second phone on video record just so it'll record the audio, puts it down, puts the other one on speakerphone, and records. It's the exact same way he has done it to many other people over a very long period of time. I did. Thank you, Sam. Of course he did. But again, he didn't read them all, I guarantee it. He read you what he wanted to read you, what he wanted you to hear, and in the context that he wanted you to read it, hear it, and spun his narrative around it. Let's be clear, because that's the same way he does it every time. Why don't people ask him to see the whole thing? Let's see the whole thing, not the parts that you took out, the parts you don't want to show people, the entirety of it. It's a very different thing when you see the entirety of it. Hey, Dougie. Exactly. It's exactly what he does every single time. Every single time. It's unfortunate. Who knows if they're recent or not, I don't know if they're recent or if they're not recent, but just know when you're looking at them, know the context of the fact that it's missing things. And he's giving you the narrative that he would like to give you, Oh, she did? Let's take a look. Hold on. He did. So I know for 100% fact that he did. He did. He deleted a ton of his. Same with Donna. He deleted a ton of stuff. He didn't show everybody all that stuff. He didn't. He did not on purpose. Yeah, I think Ashley, that Ashley, not our Ashley, that Ashley's a little sad. Maybe she's lonely, guys. Maybe she's lonely, Maybe she needs a partner. See, I've had a partner for 11 years, and I love my husband. He's a good boy. So, no, dear. No. 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 I don't know how anybody even touches the turtle. That shit's gross. They're very lonely. They get upset. Right? They do. They need a raise. We all need a fucking raise. Right? Right? I don't think JFK is paranoid. See, here's the difference is you guys have to remember there are things that happen behind closed doors. There are things going on that you guys have no idea about. And JFK is not paranoid. He just clearly knows what the hell's going on. He knows what's going on. He knows the things that happen and the things that the turtle does and the things that he has been doing for years now. It's not a secret. So let me tell you, he's not paranoid. He's right. There's a difference. He's right. All right, I'm going to pull it up and see what Julie put up and see if I can give a little more context to it. While I'm doing that, do me a favor, hit the like button if you already haven't. He curates them. Yes, that's a girl. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Cult HQ is calling all y'all. Cult HQ is calling all the cultists back. They don't want you here. Bye. Bye. Like, welcome to the internet. They really don't like it. They don't like it. Yes, exactly. See, it's not that hard to figure out. Even someone who's might have committed a murder can still tell the truth sometimes. Isn't that amazing? Even when there's evidence. There's plenty of Karen Read supporters here, and they can choose to support her and choose to think she's innocent. I do not. Priscilla, say it again, girl, for the people in the back. Exactly. When your statement is, it's legal in 39 states and I'm just doing the same thing Flipperhead did, then you're fucking admitting to what you did. It is not legal in this state. It's also illegal in the other states. 39? Cool. Well, it's illegal in the other ones. So that's not a good argument. It's legal in 39 states. Well, it's not legal here. It's not fucking legal here. Exactly. Thank you, Wallflower. Yeah, I wish he wouldn't have. I wish he wouldn't have. I wish he wouldn't have. Yeah, no, he's not paranoid. He just knows more than some of you know. You know? And that's the part that you need to understand, is that there are so many things that happen behind closed doors that you guys have no friggin' idea about. Some really disturbing, disgusting, deplorable things. He absolutely knows what time it is. He does. He absolutely does. You know? I did, yeah, right? I mean, it's a long history of it. It's really not hard to figure out, you know? I don't know. That's what he claimed, or at least that's what a stock account of his, I don't know, or a fake account of his claimed when they popped into here the other day, but I don't know if he ever said that on his own thing. Hey, Sarah! Who knows? Who frickin' knows? You know? Who frickin' knows? Exactly. Thank you. We're not here to rehash the Karen Read case, dude. All right. So if you're here to rehash it, you're in the wrong damn place. You know? See? Everybody has a different opinion and different ideas, and that's okay, right? Yeah, he's been off for, I don't know, a couple days at least, and I was hoping that it wasn't because he was bullied off, but let's see if we can take a look at what Julie posted. Hold on a second. Let's look. Because I can maybe put some more context to it for you guys. Hopefully. Again, I don't know what she posted, so but I'm trying. But while I am doing that, can we do me all a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button? Hazy G, you're clearly not using your brain cells, and I don't know what to tell you since you're not using your brain cells, okay? I don't know what to tell you. You're not using your brain cells, and I cannot help you for that. You realize that there are pieces of information that I cannot give out simply because of other people's safety, right? Like, you get that. You get that there are like safety issues, and you also get that there are things called sources that you don't just throw into the fire like the turtle does. And you also realize that people's lives are being affected, right, by some of the shit that's going on here. You understand that, right? I mean, clearly it doesn't sound like you do. Clearly it sounds like you just want to, basically simp for the turtle. And I'm sorry, but this ain't the place to do it. You could say you love the turtle till the cows come home. You can make up 1,000 excuses for him, but I know way more than you do when it comes to this shit, bro. He's not an innocent person. He's not a good person. Those are facts. He's a shit human being who lies 24/7. I don't blame him, I don't blame him. All right, let me see. All right, let me get this up here so we can see what the hell Julie posted. Is this it? Hold on. 35 seconds, so I can't do that. Can't do that either. Okay. All right. I think I found it. Let's see if we can get the first donation of the stream. We've been on 1 hour and 26 minutes. There are many ways to support the channel, and I can't do it without you guys. I cannot. For all of you that do come here and don't try to start a problem and do love this community and our content and hanging out with each other and sort of having discussions about a bunch of different things, because we cover everything from suicide to domestic violence to cases to all sorts of stuff. We end up in these conversations about all sorts of different things, and I love that. I love that. I love that. But I can't do it without you guys' help, right? I can't. I just simply can't. I'm too small of a channel, so I cannot do that without the support from all of you. There are a million ways to support the channel. We have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. We have an Amazon wish list. There are super chats, super stickers, memberships that you can give to other people. We have a link in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. All that stuff's also in the description of the video, but there's a link in chat pinned to the top. You can use that for credit or debit, and you can enter any amount you want, and you can enter, you can remain anonymous if you would like to be anonymous. Of course, you just write that you would like to be anonymous, and I read it as anonymous. Any of those things. I will get this up so we can see. I think I found it. There's a ticker also. Below this big one here, this big purple one, there's a little tiny one ticking across the bottom of the screen that keeps going back and forth, and that has all the information in it as well. So I'm going to take the big one off the screen. Let's hope not. You know, let's hope not. There comes a line when you're asking questions and when you're defending the indefensible. I mean, when you're asking a question like, so you think Karen Read is guilty, but you believe her on this thing. Well, yeah, I believe her on this thing because there's evidence to back up this thing. So I can still think she's guilty of the crime and also think that sometimes she's tells the truth. I mean, even people who murder people tell the truth sometimes. They don't, you know what I mean? I mean, let's use a little bit of common sense here. That's not really a question. It's really more of a rhetorical statement than it is a question. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Heisenberg. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. At least somebody gets it, right? No worries, Sarah. Take your time, sweetie. You're not fake. Who said you were fake? Dougie's not fake. Dougie's been here a very long time. Very long time. Yeah, it means disclaimer. Yeah. Like, first of all, I don't know why he's mocking. Like, why mock someone else's style? It's their style and it works for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's petty and nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense at all. Not even a little bit. Let's see. My audience is here for a bunch of other things. We do cases and trials too. So we're actually getting ready to do Brian Walsh's trial soon. That's the problem, though. We have a lot of brainwashed people that don't even realize they're brainwashed. You know, it's sad. No, Dougie's been here a long, long time. You're never upsetting anyone, my friend. Yeah, of course you can put heels this channel. Never. Not here, my friend. Not here. She's been with me a long time. See, I can't ignore it. You know, I can't. It's hard for me to sit there and ignore someone doing something like that to someone. You know, I can't. I don't have it in me, you know, and are a lot of victims here. A lot. You have to remember there are a lot of victims that watch here. There are a lot of victims that are in the chat. There's a lot of victims. A lot. Yeah, it was like a 16-minute video that he did, and it was very what's the word? Vague. It was vague. So it really didn't tell much of like what they were doing, or, well, I mean, not everybody watches 100 streams, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody has time for that. Listen, I barely have time to do what I have to do. Jesse actually does the bulk of the work for me when it comes to skimming other streams and seeing what's going on in other places. Because I simply cannot do everything at all. And I'm sure Dougie has other things to do besides watch other things that she doesn't even know exists. You know, you guys have to remember, not everybody does the same thing that you all do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's out of touch. I think she probably just doesn't know who they are and never heard of them, or maybe doesn't know that they made the 16-minute stream. I wouldn't know if somebody didn't point it out to me either. You know what I mean? At all. We do love Dougie. Nope, never. You can always ask questions. Always. No, she's never being sarcastic. Ever. Never, ever, ever. Not here. All right, let's see. It was very cryptic. Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. That's the one I was looking for. Cryptic. It was very cryptic. It was very vague. Like they weren't exactly saying whether they were taking a break or stopping altogether or like moving on to something else or you know what I mean? Stuff like that. All right, so I found it. Ooh, we got our first donation. We have a $20 donation from Matt. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that very, very much. So yeah, see you down the road. That's what they said. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait, nope, wrong one. Boop. Hold on. Let's see. This is the video, I'm assuming. I just want to go back so you can see the whole stinking thing here. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Volume's on, right? Yeah.
Say whatever you want about me on your programs. I have got much bigger fish to fry. And he goes, I don't know your conversations with her. Maybe she is pissed at you. But she told me she is more or less worried about Cosgrove, and she isn't really saying much about anything else, and I don't ask. Same way I wouldn't ask you. Okay. I said, well, I had her back unconditionally when she was falsely charged because it was the right thing to do, and I would gladly do it again. And he says, but think about it. If she did get indicted, that's going to look shady, no? The timing of it? What is that supposed to mean? So if Karen Reed were to be indicted on conspiracy to commit witness intimidation charges, is he suggesting here that I am responsible for that? That I did something to get her indicted? Because does he not understand that if she is indicted on conspiracy to commit witness intimidation charges, I will also be indicted on another charge of conspiracy to commit witness intimidation charges? Because you need to.
I paused it because we were buffering. Hold on a second, guys. So if you're coming here from some sort of drama that like doesn't exist, you're coming to the wrong place, Carla. I've never come at Lindsay, not once, not ever. I have no idea why she would take my tweet that had nothing to do with her and more had to do with Meredith. And if something was true, if there was even a sliver of a fact of it, if it could be true at all, had nothing to do with her, not a single thing to do with her. So if somebody takes something that I tweeted to be about them when it specifically says who it's about, like, I don't know what to tell you. I've never, ever come at Lindsay, ever. So that's just ridiculous. That's nonsensical. Back to this.
She's not getting indicted. They just don't want to give her phone back. Morrissey's being a dick. She's done nothing wrong, and neither have I. You can call if you want to talk more. He doesn't call her. He doesn't like calling. He goes, I'm telling you, she is nervous. That's all. Can you blame her? Now, there is a leaked recording saying, Tully, I am dead. There's a leaked recording saying, Tully, I am dead. What? Now there is a leaked recording. So is he suggesting I'm leaking the recordings? Is that what he's saying here? That I'm leaking some sort of, like, that I'm responsible for? Is that what he's saying?
I mean,
I'm telling you she's nervous. That's all. Can you blame her? Like, are you speaking for her? I don't get, are you making this up? Is he full of shit? I don't know. He thinks I'm working with the cops. Has he turned into like JFK Smith Ellis? Like, what is this? I go, I'm not leaking anything. I go, this is all blowing up because certain people wanted it to blow up. It should have stayed between her and I. And then he writes back. He goes, I get it. But Karen, don't control me or my content or tells me anything. She told me things that she said I could repeat about you, and I chose not to. She told me things
He
that she
should.
said I could repeat about you, and I chose not to. What does that mean?
You should.
Honestly,
He knows what it
shit
means.
bigger than recordings. What does that mean? Shit
Uh-huh.
bigger than recordings? I was like, wow.
Bigger. Blackmail, maybe?
I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
That's between you and her. So why is she telling you about it? She told me things in my eyes that are more damaging than recordings.
Because you're a
I never
scumbag.
repeated. And she said I could share. So she gave, according to him, she gave him permission to share these more damaging things, and he's chosen to take the high road.
Why are you
He's like, no, I have
telling
no interest in
people
that.
about this, you
Upstanding
idiot?
JFK. Then he goes on to say, who knows? But who knows if any of this is true? It's fucking JFK. Have you like? Anyway, he goes on to say, but that's not my business. Tonight, he sent this yesterday. He goes, tonight I will stream with no drama, even though everyone is waiting on me to react to the OG glare, and I will take it a day at a time. So yesterday he did a stream for like 15 minutes where they played music, and he was like kind of being cryptic, and then that was the end of it.
Thank you, Shannon.
And he goes, but that's not my business. Tonight I will stream with no drama, even though everyone is waiting on me to react to the OG glare, and I will take it a day at a time. Not because I'm playing games, but to prove I ain't about the drama and make a statement by actions. But after that, we will see. And he puts in parentheses, Aiden voice. Okay. So that means I don't know. So is he telling me? I don't know what any of this means. I don't know what any of this means.
You're like trying to do a voice of him, though.
Interesting choice. Interesting choice. First Natalie, then Turtleboy, then Nick Rocco, and now JFK. It's it's probably Tank's talent coordinator that's doing all this. This all. Where did JFK write this? This is a text message conversation that he was sending me.
Why not give the responses, Aiden?
JFK isn't about the drama. He is the drama.
No, you're the drama.
Is Pleather next? Hopefully not.
You are the drama.
Does she make everyone think they are her only confidant and maneuvers people against each other? I don't know what she's. I can't speak. I cannot speak. I find it hard to believe that. I mean, Karen Reed has like an MBA. She's a very smart person. As Natalie said, she graduated from Bentley in 3 years. I find it hard to believe that she's slumming around with, and I think that's what Jess Machado called it, slumming, like with James Jackson, bro. Like James Jackson is so fucking ratchet. I don't know about JFK. JFK, he's obviously much smarter than James Jackson. James Jackson is just bottom of the barrel. Like, and I humored him when
I can't.
You know, because like
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. For him to sit there and call James Jackson the bottom of the barrel, I'm sorry. Maybe I missed the part where James Jackson went around threatening women and ran around fucking demanding they do X, Y, and Z. Maybe I missed the part where James Jackson tried to blackmail people, including Karen Reed. Maybe I missed the part where James Jackson tries to take people's part of their lives. That's probably like the worst part that they've been in and use it as some sort of fucking weapon. Maybe I missed the part where James Jackson uses coercive control, not just on the women he dates, but his audience. Maybe I missed that part, right? Because just fucking saying, okay? This man is the fucking King Ratchet, all right? The King Ratchet. If I was James Jackson, I would have already dropped the Hiroshima bomb on his ass, right? All the information that Karen gave him, I would have already dropped that shit. Because at this point, until it happens, this is what we're going to be dealing with, okay? This is the shit that we're going to be dealing with. Yeah, see, we're not, no, I don't, no, we're not going to disrespect my mods. You're not, nope, absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. My mods do the work of fucking gods. Absolutely not. Sorry, nope. Sorry, nope. Absolutely fucking not. My mods deal with quite a bit of abuse. That'll get you booted real fucking quick. Real quick. It's a good song, right? It's a good song. Absolutely fucking not. Yeah, no, she got the boot. I'm not playing that game. No, absolutely not. Listen, I put up with a lot today, all right? And to be fair, I don't get paid enough for this shit. But we will not. I'll take, you give me hate, cool, whatever. But what I will not put up with is talking shit to my mods who do the work of fucking gods here, all right? No, not just mods. They are my friends, family to me. So absolutely the fuck not. No. No. No excuse for it. None at all. And it is a good reason, right? We're not doing all that. Nope. My tweet did not insinuate anything about any of them. Clearly, if it had been true, then it would have happened when he was probably with Meredith, hence why that's what it says. So, Come on, man. Like, you want to bring your drama, bring it somewhere else. Bye. So that just goes to show you how many stalk accounts these people have. Why did you block me for asking a question? No, I blocked you because you're trying to bring drama here for no reason. My tweet was clear. It had nothing to do with Leah. It had nothing to do with her. Nothing. Zero. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Can you use your 17 stalk accounts, bro? No. Absolutely not. No worries, I got this. We're not doing all that. Not doing it. Not fucking doing it. Sorry, not sorry. It's gross. I mean, they're all crashing out at this point. But that's the problem, is he's no journalist. He's no fucking journalist. I love you. I love you. I hate it, Barbara. I hate it so much. Although I did think about doing like the sort of whole like highlights with gray with my black hair, because my hair is black. So like this is my natural color, is like black. So I thought about doing just maybe that. I have clip-ins extensions that actually have the gray and then with black. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that look. That way when it grows in, it won't look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, Dougie. I mean, I'm always spicy, but geez, it's possible. You know, it's possible. It's possible. It's a silly argument. Yes, it's illegal. We're in the state of Massachusetts. It is illegal. It is a felony. Okay? That's a silly argument. This is not a one-state recording law. This is a two-party consent state. You know? Well, that's the other part. You know what I'm saying? Is a lot of times people will do that. They'll use someone else's name to try to seem like they're a nice person. And then, you know, that's why we had to block Rainwater, because they were using her name. So we had to block multiple of them. And it's unfortunate, you know? It is gross. Like, what in the fucking actual fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Oh, absolutely. But that's the thing. Anybody could have predicted he was going to do that. He's burned how many sources at this point? I would never burn a source, ever. Just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's willing to burn a source for a petty jealousy issue, what else is he willing to do? Ask yourself that. Let's finish the rest of this, because I can't listen to him for more than fucking 5 minutes without wanting to, you know, gouge my eardrums out.
Well, the sport can't read, so of course I'm going to humor them and be nice to them. But he wanted to get gully and felt all brazen all of a sudden and wanted to like challenge me almost and kind of get big with me. I'm a smack.
First of all, nobody's challenging you, bro. All right? There's no competition there at all, sir. Right? That's what you would probably look like if he did smack you. Just saying.
You around, bitch, you can't barely fucking walk, James. Have you seen your fucking eyes? Have you heard the way you talk? You sound high 24/7.
Coming from the man, I mean, is this real life right now? Like, this is real life right now. Like, he wants to disparage James Jackson for the way he looks or sounds. I mean, that's all you got. That's all you got, right? I mean, this is the shit he does, and it's just deplorable. You have to think about it, right? Think about it. Why? Why? Because he's mad. He's mad that they've been telling some truth, and he knows that if Karen is talking to them, that he knows every shitty thing that he has done to Karen, JFK, James Jackson, and Kevy Webby now know. The things that I have been telling people for quite some time. He tried to blackmail her in trial 1 over not getting a fucking seat in court. Like, I've only been screaming that from the rooftop since, I don't know, trial 1 when it happened. He did that. He did that. All right? He did that. That happened. Nobody wanted to listen. No one wanted to fucking listen. Tried to tell y'all. He did that. And many other horrible, horrific, ridiculous fucking things. The threats that he has thrown out there. If you don't do this or you don't give me this, I'm going to do this to make you look bad. Let's also be clear here. Somebody else the other day said, I heard somebody say, I forget who it was, one of the content creators. I got a clip, and they said, yeah, ballsack talking, exactly. They said that he didn't know about Higgins. That's false. He did know about Higgins. And I'll tell you how I know. He knew about Higgins because when we found out about Higgins, which was before trial 1, he stopped us all from putting it in the Free Karen Read group, right? Anybody who talked about it, he deleted it. He would ban them. He would block them. He did not want it out there. And what did he specifically say to us? He said, well, it makes her look bad. And that was my first red flag. And I was like, well, it's part of the story. This is right before I broke off from all of this. I don't give a fuck if it makes her look bad. It's part of the story, right? It's part of the story. I'm sorry. What are we talking about, Tanya? I missed it. BB Fall? I don't have thoughts because I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, Tanya. You got to be more specific. I know, Carol. I mean, listen, Carol, when I called him a ball sack, I was so serious. That wrinkled fucking face. I mean, so obnoxious. So fucking obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. But realistically, he absolutely knew. Absolutely knew. He knew all about Higgins. He didn't want anybody talking about it because it would make Karen look bad. So I don't know who it was that said that. Oh, the new lawyer for the O'Keefes. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you can bring as many sock accounts as you want, Trollzilla, dude. You're just going to get blocked and banned, so thank you for outing all of your fucking sock accounts. I mean, at this point, we all need raises for this bullshit. Realistically. No shit. But he's going to brutally go after anybody that has any truth. That's exactly right, Dougie. So the new lawyer for the O'Keefes, is it's a high-profile lawyer. He's done this for a long time. I wish I could put a long face on it. Let me finish the rest of this because I can't listen to his voice. But let's be clear here. All he wants to do here is attack James Jackson, Heavy Webby, and JFK. Why? Ask yourself why, because I'm going to answer the question for you. The answer is because they know things he does not want out there. So he thinks if he attacks enough, they'll go away, they'll shut up, and they'll think about not talking about it. It's the same thing he does every time. It's shit I've known for a long time. There are lots of things he does not want in the public realm. You think the recording was bad? Wait until they tell you that he tried to blackmail her in trial 1. Okay? I don't have to say it. Nobody gets, all up in arms when I say it. Okay? But when they tell you that it happened and confirm what I have been telling people, then people get up in arms. Okay? Like, this is what I mean.
You are a literal crackhead, right? You're like.
Did you just call James Jackson a crackhead while you itch your nose, sir? I'm just wondering. I mean, look at this dude's eyes. Let's just point this out. Let's point out the obvious here. You're calling someone else a crackhead while having fucking pinned eyeballs that you could hide your pupils in your pocket. I mean, come on.
Like you're hanging out with 19-year-olds.
Bro, you just brought a 21-year-old into a restaurant not that long ago, and they got mad because somebody from either who lived near there or who worked at the restaurant or who could see you from the restaurant called you out on it. Your peanut butter and jam sandwich right now with pupils that you could fit in your pocket, and you want to talk about someone else being a crackhead hanging out with 19-year-olds when you're bringing a 21-year-old into a restaurant just, a week, 2 weeks? The fucking lack of self-awareness is amazing to me. Fucking amazing to me. And filthy rat bastard, you're right. He knew about Higgins before trial 1, though. Even when he he knew about it before trial 1. I knew about it before trial 1. He didn't want anybody talking about it because it would make her look bad. So he's talking about, James Jackson hang out with 19-year-olds. Bro, you just brought a 21-year-old, and I don't even know if she's 20 or 21, okay? Just brought her in to a restaurant not that long ago. So, where's the self-awareness, my dude?
You're all high, that you're giving him drugs, doing all types of shit, stealing Red Sox fans. You are as ratchet.
Look at him. While he says all this, right? Dude is the ratchet of all ratchets. He's fucking the king ratchet. His entire personal life is a giant fucking dumpster fire. And he has the audacity to talk about anyone else.
As it fucking gets. The idea that somebody like you would step to me on the blogging level, right, as a reporter. And you
on the blogging level as a reporter. Well, you can't be a blogger and a reporter there, bub. You're either a blogger or you're a fucking reporter. You're not a reporter. Let's be very clear, okay? You're a gossip columnist who can't even write the gossip columns with actually doing any research. You just get fed information that you post. There's no journalism in that, sir. Okay? It's not how it works. You're a clown. You're a fucking clown.
Fucking comical. What's even more comical is that you're out there telling everybody like, oh, I talked to the queen bee herself. And okay, cool.
Clearly they did. I mean, that's clear that they did. So the fact that you're so upset about it tells me everything I need to know. This is how upset he gets about it, because she no longer is going to him, right? Or talking to him. So he is very upset about that. Very. Oh, they're definitely earning every dollar. Those lawyers are earning every dollar, and I would not be surprised if you see them drop him at some point.
I hope not, for her sake, but there's that.
I hope that. First of all, stop saying there's that. I've been saying that for as long as I can fucking remember. You suck, all right? You suck. You're a terrible human being. Oh, I can't. I want to throw the popcorn at the screen. And I love my screens, so I would like to not. In the Urban Dictionary, he is the king, Ratchet. It's amazing to me that he talks about anyone else with the shit that he does privately. It's fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? It will be his undoing. But that's the thing. He'll keep doing it. Right? I mean, he's going to bring all his fake sock accounts that he has, spreadsheets for. Oh, no, they don't have anything better to do. They don't. And that's the thing. You guys see the difference, right? Most of you who have been here long enough, you guys see the difference between one troll every couple of streams to how many I get per stream now or speaking. What does that tell you? You know what it tells me, because I know the truth. So what does it tell you, though? For those of you who don't know everything that I know, what does that tell you? I would never bother. I can't listen to him. You know me. I'd have to throw something at the fucking screen. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Not me. Mm-mm. It absolutely should. I feel like if you don't take it as prescribed, it rots your fucking brain. I just can't. I can't. The lack of self-awareness to me is so amazing that someone can project that much. He just attacked James Jackson for everything that he has done on his own. Make it make sense. Make it fucking make sense. Make it make sense, please, for the love of God. For the love of God. Come on. Listen, I've been in recovery 18 years. 18 long years. And he still wants to bring it up as if I was like getting high yesterday. Like, bro, it was a whole nother lifetime ago. I'm going to be 39 next month. All right? 39. He's not above anyone. As a matter of fact, he's a shitty human being. Okay? Not only is it not cool, full stop, but at the same time, he has a serious Adderall addiction, right? He gets a prescription, but at the same time, he couldn't take it in jail. So he was so upset that he couldn't take it in the jail because they don't allow Adderall for obvious reasons. Like, when you are taking more than what you're prescribed for a medication, that's not using it as prescribed. That means you have an issue with it, right? You have an issue with it. You have an issue. He has his own vices and addictions. So to sit there and act like he doesn't is the part that really bothers me. It's being hypocritical, right? Now, I would give a fuck less what his vices were if he wasn't attacking every other human being on planet Earth and acting like he does nothing wrong ever. I could give a shit less, but it's the point. Brian Higgins, yes, Higgins. But that's what he does. He just wants he wants whoever he's attacking to sound like they're the worst possible person on planet Earth. Why? So then his audience won't listen to anything that person says. He'll just say, well, you can't listen to that Ratchet. That's a horrible person. And they're just talking against me and saying things about me because I exposed them. That's his excuse. He's been doing it for 10 years. He knows what works and what doesn't work. And the sad part is it does work on people. They do actually believe that. That's the sad part, you guys. That's the really, really sad part. It's really sad. That's the sad part. They're earning every dollar, but you have to imagine that they just keep bringing in the money, right? But at some point, as an attorney, They drop clients for doing this stuff. They drop clients for doing this kind of stuff. They do. Because if you can't listen to your attorneys ever and you just keep putting, starting more fires everywhere, there are fires that they cannot put out. Like, you're harming your own defense, Glass houses, don't throw stones. It's insane to me. It's absolutely insane. No self-awareness, none at all. Exactly. Ethical practices, which is talking to the person who you're going to do a story on to see if you can get any information so you don't print things that are incorrect or completely fabricated and false. That's why there's journalistic ethics that people follow. Well, yeah, they'll definitely take it because of money, right? Right? Excuse you, sir. Now you can refer to him as journalist James Jackson. Okay, that's how you can refer to him. Your ratchet highness. Your ratchet highness. I could not. Nope, I couldn't. No, he has not low impulse control, Tanya. He has no impulse control. None. Zero. None at all. He cannot regulate his emotions. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Yeah. Surprised because he doesn't know what he's going to talk about until tonight when he decides he's going to attack someone like me because I spoke today. That's what he does. It's surprised because he doesn't know what he's going to talk about. That's why. I mean, that's a good thing though. If enough people do report those bullying ass streams, YouTube will take them down. I mean, it is what it is. Yes, that is a cardinal rule of journalism, is to not make yourself part of the story. Exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't think his attorneys are smart at all. Just saying. It's my opinion. I mean, that's the thing. I don't have to agree with his take on the Karen Reed case to not want to attack someone or to call them names or to think they're a horrible person. I don't think he's a horrible person. I don't think he's any of the things that he just spewed out of his fucking face at all. Right? Attack him for what? I don't have to agree with him on the case and also not attack him. I mean, that's what normal people do. Like, okay, I might not agree with him on that, but I actually enjoy their streams. When they're talking about other things, I just do. I'm so sorry. God forbid. Oh, I'm sure they don't. They probably hide at some point. I can't talk right now. Talk right now. I know. Would you? I wouldn't. Yeah, his story is the more interesting one. The one that he keeps committing crimes willingly and then claims it's a setup. Yeah, that's more interesting, let me tell you. Come on with it. Come on. But that's the thing, though. Taking Adderall as prescribed, some people need it, right? I have a friend who had such bad anxiety that she took, oh God, was it? It was a benzo, but it was a very, Ativan. She took Ativan, right? She needed it. Without it, she was just so anxiety ridden, right? It's one thing to take something that you need as prescribed. I have a friend who needs Adderall. Her ADHD is off the freaking chains. And when there was an Adderall shortage, they were giving her Concerta and it just wasn't working the way that Adderall does. And her ADHD is just all over the place, right? It's one thing to take it as prescribed. It's another when you're not taking it as prescribed. You know what I mean? That's the difference for me. You know what I mean? That's the difference. I went off on a tangent in his replay of HW. I never understood why he went after you, and now it makes sense. I had maybe 3 people comment against me, which had 67 likes on the comment before it was removed. Yeah, see, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? You know what I mean? What does that tell you? It didn't make sense to a lot of people until they came to me and asked, and I told them, and they were like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. A lot more sense. A lot more. Yes, make sure you hit the like button. Yeah, well done. Well done. But they ultimately removed it, of course, right? Unfortunate. Hey, Krista. Well, then take it as prescribed, girl, so you can sit still. But that's the thing. That's that sort of trying to down other people for whatever, whether they had an addiction in life. Like, I know plenty of people who made it through an addiction, and it is not fucking easy. I have many friends who died. Many that died. Many, many, many. It's unfortunate. He's not above anybody. Ever. Hey, girl, hey. My son's pants fit. The lawyers want money. You have to remember that, right? They're making probably a fortune off of it. I can't. Sometimes I get spicy. You know what I mean? Get a little spicy sometimes. It's part of the Spanish in me. It's probably a very good mix of the Spanish in me and the Irish in me at the same time. Just going full stop crazy. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, we don't have to agree on the case to know when someone's not being a shitbag, They can see it differently. That's totally okay. It's totally okay. Yep, a lot of people with the heart conditions. I have myocarditis. Thankfully, I don't need medication for that, but it could get to that point, Yeah, exactly. That's definitely not taking it as prescribed if you're sniffing it, just FYI. Right. There are people who need it, right? And it makes the people who need it, it's harder for the people who need it, right? It makes it harder for them to get their prescriptions when other people are abusing them. It just does, right? Because then they're being questioned like they did something wrong, and that's not okay either. People who are in chronic pain have a hard enough time getting pain meds because of all the people who abuse those. It's a whole shit show, A lot of people use weed too for ADHD, sleep, things of that nature. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. It's definitely a problem. It's definitely a problem. Well, I knew that would happen, that's happened. That has happened. We have people who are just curious about what the hell he's about and the shit that he has done behind closed doors. They kind of just want to know what the hell's going on here. It is what it is. Yeah, of course, right? Why I'm so bad. I'm bad. I'm terrible. I'm a horrible human being, says him. Funny part is people who know me in real life just laugh at that. Just have to laugh at that point, Yeah, no, see, that's the thing. You come at my mod sideways and I will lose my ever-loving mind. We're not. Nope, absolutely not. Nope. See? Here you go. Here's the answer, Well, that's exactly right, Sam, right? When he has people who would just pay his lawyer fees no matter how many crimes he commits. Who cares, right? He doesn't care. He'll just have all these people pay it for him, right? Yep. Me too, girl. Me freaking too. All right. 18 years clean and sober from opiates, and I'm damn proud of it. I went from being someone who was a very broken human being in my young age, and we've all heard, my life story, but I came full circle, right? I went from somebody being in the depths of addiction to somebody who works in a prison for the criminally insane, and I would still be working there now if I could afford the 40 grand, 50 grand in childcare it would cost, because that is out of control how much they want for childcare, But you are absolutely right, Sam. 100% right, Yeah, you did send it to me. No, he cannot have that. I cannot have that at all. Cannot. I wish, though, people had figured that out then. Right? I wish they had figured that out then. Because unfortunately, so many people have been poisoned in the mind for them to even ever come back to reality. And it happens. It does. I've been getting about an email a day from people starting to just wake up to it. But I feel like there's so many other people who are going to be harmed by him, even viewers. They're going to be berated, treated like shit. They send $3. He's going to demand that they send $5. The whole shebang, You can call me a grifter all he wants. Look, I've been on 2 hours and 6 minutes. I've gotten one donation of $20. If I was only doing this for money, yes, this is my income. So yes, money is part of it. But if I was only doing it for money, I've been gone long ago, right? Long the fuck ago. Also, I could have just kept screaming free Can Read and made a ton of money. I didn't do that because that's not what The evidence told me, right? So it is what it is. I have these things called fucking morals, and I stand by them, whether it's the popular thing to say or not. I don't really care one way or another. It's not popular. It's not fucking popular. It is what it is, you know? Yeah, I mean, I usually don't yell, so I apologize, but that just pissed me the hell off. Like, we are not going to come at my mods sideways. Absolutely not. They do the work of gods here, right? Absolutely not. Ugh, listen, I have no immune system at all anymore. None. Zero. Get sick all the time now. It's horrible. No, he doesn't. He takes everybody else's inventory. The problem with that, though, is that he doesn't actually take everyone's inventory. He takes whatever rumor, gossip mill, or whatever sounds good to talk about, to say about them. It's the same things over and over about every person. I mean, it's a pattern. It's predictable, even at this point. I can literally predict what he's going to say about someone. If you can predict what he's going to say about someone, nobody else finds that to be a problem. You know? Oh, see, my mother was vaccine injured. She got this wicked rash. I wish I could say that it was from the vaccine. The vaccine didn't even exist. Didn't even exist. I'm proud of you. Anybody who made it through anything like that, you know, it takes a lot. It really, really does. Some people say that the gummies help better with depression than anything else that they've tried, like regular meds. And listen, whatever works, you know, whatever works. Yeah, no one's perfect. There's no such thing, right? We're all human, you know? Oh, he loves going batshit crazy. Somebody told him to move on one time, and they weren't even talking to him. They were talking to somebody else in the chat, and he pulled up the comment, and somebody sent me the clip of it, and he went fucking batshit crazy. I was like, this is my point, right? If you think that that is how he acts publicly, what do you think he does privately? I'm just saying. Like, I mean, let's all use our brain cells here. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard thing to do. That's for damn sure. Thank you, Dougie. Thank you. It's definitely not easy, but absolutely can be done. Anybody can do it with some support. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of Donna, and she's like family now. She's stuck with me forever. She's stuck with me forever. A lot of people that's all they do is they have their little weed they smoke to go to sleep or to calm their anxiety or their ADHD, and that works for them. And that works for them. You know, like judging that is weird. You know, it's just weird. Yeah, the 20th tomorrow. It is. 21st is on a Tuesday. Not that I'm getting much on that day. Last month was kind of a bust, but it should be. It absolutely YouTube pay. Yeah, mine was like a whole whopping $300 last month. So not a good payday for me this month. Maybe next. We'll try again next month. Try again next month. See, lots of people. And so imagine being the person that judges everyone for that. You know? Yeah, right. I won't. Right? Because I'm grateful. That's why. There's such a thing as being grateful for anything, right? Because without donations that come into the channel, I can't run this stream. Like I can't pay for the costs and continue on. I am not a rich person, so that means the money that I spend, I have to recuperate back because that's my everyday living money, right? So I just can't afford it. You know, you don't have that problem when you get 6,000 people in your chat. That's not, you know what I mean? It's the bottom line. Oh yeah, it definitely was warranted for sure. You know? Oh, absolutely. Yep. Well, we can hope, but there's not really much we can do about it other than just be here when they do figure it out. You know? The pattern of behavior is so predictable at this point, though. So it's like, why? Why? You know? Why don't people see what's right in front of them? It boggles my mind. Oh, his surprise is, it's not really a surprise. It's he still hasn't figured out what he's going to talk about. That's the surprise. You know? Or he's going to attack one of his exes. I mean, it's not rocket science to figure out what he's going to do. I'm going to call it now. He's going to attack some poor woman, whether it's an ex of his or, you know, someone else, content creator, maybe even myself. The bottom line is, it's not even, it's a surprise to him because he hasn't figured out what he's going to talk about yet. You know? Exactly. Right? It's just what he does. It's so predictable at this point. You know? It's just so freaking predictable. Well, you know, it is what it is. And I try to remember that I take that experience of what I've been through and try to help other people who he does it to, who I know he's lying about. And hopefully, whatever advice I can give helps them better be prepared and deal with it. You know, I mean, that's all I can do. I've been through a hell of a lot worse than him. So he's not going to magically shut me up. He can say whatever he wants about me. I really could give a rat's ass. And when I say I could give a rat's ass, I literally tell people when they message me, like, he's talking about you again. I'm like, my answer is usually, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Most people know he's a fucking liar, and anybody who doesn't eventually will. They eventually will. You know? Sometimes it's just, you know, you realize, you know? Drinking one Coca-Cola while you're getting ready for bed. One's your age. Yeah, I did not know that. No. I don't have ADHD, so that's probably why I didn't know that. 6, 7. 6, 7. As the kids say. So my grandparents used to say, as the kids say. We listen and we don't judge, right? Goddamn. You know, this is how we built the community that we built here, right? Where people are supportive towards each other, you know, whatever. Oh, I forgot about that. So government shutdown. Yeah, that's no good either. You know, we need to figure that shit out, like, soon. You know? Well, that's the other thing. Who talks trash about a murder victim's family? Who the fuck does that? Who has that much hate and anger for a murder victim's family? What does that tell you? Like, what does that tell you? That misplaced anger towards a murder victim's family. That is weird. Okay? Weird. A fraud is right. A fraud is fucking right. You can say that again. You know? 6, 7. I had to. You said it. I had to. I saw 67. I had to say 6, 7. I don't know. It was 30 days from the last time. So you'd have to go back to like what the last day was. And then they had 30 days. Yeah, like ridiculous. I mean, probably was. Who friggin' knows? You know? Stealing people's names, icons, whatever. You have here. So. Oh, I love that. I have one. I don't think she can. I can, but I don't know if it'll. Let's see. I can. Oh, 6, 7. Had to. Oh, Roberta. I love her. Her voice is just like so soothing. So soothing. All my kids at 6, 7. All the kids. The kids in the neighborhood yesterday were at the party. 6, 7. It's like this thing that it's like a TikTok of like basketball. So it's like the new little, you know, thing kids say. I had to, right? I had to. Oh, I think so many people have that misguided anger, you know? Yeah, it could be. Could be. Yeah. They totally know. I know. 6, 7. Usually we do have a great time in chat. See, that's the thing. That is why I love my community, right? Usually people make friends and get each other's information, and we all come back here and have a great time. And, you know, listen, I want to have like a whole Christmas Eve pajama party. Ooh, that's what we should do. We should do like a Christmas Eve. You know how us parents are usually up wrapping on Christmas Eve? You guys know that? Usually what I do is I have a Zoom call with my friends who don't live in the area. And we all get wine, champagne, Red Bull, Sprite, whatever you're drinking, right? We get our glasses out and we get on there and we're rapping and we're talking and we're rapping and we're talking and we're wrapping presents and we're talking. And maybe we'll do like yeah. I mean, who else is going to be up rapping as a parent on Christmas Eve because they wait until the last minute? This girl right here, always. So maybe we should do a Christmas Eve stream. It'll be late because obviously my kiddo's got to be asleep, so it probably won't happen until like 10 p.m. But or a little later. But I think that would be so fun. I think that would be so fun. I think that would be so fun. Roberta Glass, 6, 7. Yeah, it's like a little. I say the same thing. I'm so old. It's like it's a little basketball thing, TikTok thing, and it's just a little video. So now all the kids say 6, 7. Yeah, I agree with you. But they literally parrot word for word what he says, word for word. They come in and say the exact same thing he said. It's crazy to me. It's literally crazy. I'm like, how do you not know, right, that you're just parroting something he said? Like, are you unaware of that? And are you aware that you could do the exact same thing? He could do the exact same thing to you and somebody else would be coming at you doing the same thing. Like, how do you not? Oh, listen, I always try to get at least some of it done ahead of time. But, you know, with 3 kids, it's hard. It's freaking, and the husband, it's hard, man. It's hard. I got so much stuff I'm already doing all the time. So it's like, oh, God damn it. Fucking Christmas Eve, I'm up rapping. And also, to be fair, I also do boot prints. I use baby powder, okay, because I have rugs. And I get one of my husband's boots. We make Santa's boot prints from the door to the tree, right? So we got lots to do on Christmas Eve, you know. we totally could. We totally could. Right? I don't have a hiding place either. I have to get creative. I use my neighbor's basement as the hiding place. Last year it was my neighbor who lived upstairs from me. It was his closet, but this year it's my neighbor across the street, and because I don't live in the same place. So we use theirs. Well, that's why it's cold, right? See, that's a good thing. You have a basement to hide them in. That's a good thing, you know? See, sometimes people put the stuff together and some people don't wrap, actually. This is like a new thing that I learned is some people don't wrap and they just put bows on everything. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the fun is letting the kids rip, you know what I mean? Like rip it open and be like every little thing is a surprise. Like, I don't know if I would like not wrapping it because then they could just see everything. And it's like not as fun as like, ooh, what's in this one? You know, like what's in this one? Like, I want to unwrap it. Not that I really get Christmas gifts, but I would want to know what's in it, right? Like I want to unwrap it. I want to get excited. Want to. Right? You probably have nieces and nephews though, right? I'm guessing nieces and nephews to do for. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, it's 4:30. I know, I was on late today, right? Yeah, some people do that too, the big gift instead of like, you know, a bunch of little ones. That's some people do that too. Yeah, my kid likes to be surprised. So all of them, they're girls. They want to not know what's in there, you know? And for my oldest, it's a little tough because she used to love to read. So I used to get her, you know, a ton of books, but she's now blind. So I can't do that. So I, you know, usually get her like audio books now so she can just listen to them. But Audible might be a option for this year, like the whole Audible thing, and see if I can't not, you know, do something like that. But I'm also limited in what I can get her because I'm not going to get her something that she can't see, right? There are things she can feel, obviously, feel, smell. But I'm not going to get her, for instance, a TV, right? You're going to get her a TV, she can't see it. It makes sense. You know what I mean? You're not going to get her things that she can't like look at and, you know. So I get limited, and because of her mobility issues, I'm limited in what I can get her. So she's the hardest to shop for. I feel like my little is easy. Anything girly, anything, you know what I mean? Like she's easy peasy lemon squeezy. My middle, I mean, she's like me. She's a little bit of a nerd, so she likes to read too. Oh, hey, Art Deco, thank you for becoming a member and gifting 5 memberships. You are a rock star. Making Changes gets one. Karen gets one. Jen gets one. Street Squirrel gets one. And Kirsten gets one. There you go. There you go. Oh, that is awesome, Wallflower. I love that. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it likes to skip you and Jesse. I'm sorry. if it was under my control to gift them, that's why they give me 10 to gift every first of the month, and that's why I always do it. Just to, you know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if you like Art Deco would like to support the channel, there's a million different ways to do so. You can use PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Revolut. You can gift memberships, get a membership. You can do a super chat. You can do a super sticker. There's a link in chat pinned to the top. You can click on it and you can enter any amount. And you can remain anonymous if you want. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I always cross my fingers. I know. Audible, I think she would love Audible because she can then listen to the books. You know what I mean? And she's like me. All my kids like to read. All of them. It's not just me. All of them. Yeah, you have to make sure your thing is set to allow gifts too. I think we've been over this before. Hey, Emily, that it has to be set to accept gifts or you can't get one either. He's not the help desk. He's a program. Yeah, programming is difficult. Lots of ones and zeros and numbers and dashes, and I don't know how these people do it, right? I mean, I have a tough enough time doing all the stuff that I do, for sure. That's for sure. You got to make sure that's on. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. See, but he is. That's amazing. I love that. We actually have a couple people whose kids here are autistic. My nephew's autistic, actually. Ooh. Yeah, she loves blankets, slippers, fuzzy socks because she has arthritic feet. So she likes the Crocs with the fuzz inside of them. There's actually a pair on my wish list for my mini, my little, because I have Stitch on them, and she freaking loves Stitch. Loves Stitch. And she doesn't have the fuzzy. My little doesn't have the fuzzy Crocs. My oldest, she likes the ones with the fuzz inside them for the wintertime because sneakers kind of hurt. They're too tight on her feet. So she likes to be able to just, slip them in and go, right? So yeah, see, we have, so there's lots of you that have things in common. We have a lot of these conversations, right, about this kind of stuff, right? She does. She likes the cuddly stuff for sure. I mean, who wouldn't? A nice bathrobe, and my middle sort of into that, girly stuff right now, like she's into like the nice palettes and, she's got all the hair stuff already. She's got the flat iron and the curling iron. It's like she already has that stuff. So it's like that's also going to be a hard one to shop for this year. It's like, what do you get these kids? What do you get them? God damn it. My oldest loves all the cozy things. All the cozy things. All of them. See, a lot of you guys have that in common, right? I mean, I have a kid with a disability, not autism, but with a disability. Ooh, see, I get hot when I sleep. So I like something cool on me, whether it's a fan or the air conditioner. But I do. Ooh, trunk or treat. Have fun. Have fun. Really? 7. Usually they did like a study, and I think they said it was after age 5, 5 or 4, where it's hard for them to grasp the, like, being able to speak and write after a certain age. They did an entire like study on it, which I found fascinating, by the way. But I'm a weirdo and I read all sorts of random shit, like random shit. Lots of hugs for everybody. French Terry, oh yeah, of course. I don't even know. I mean, she's a size small in juniors or women. She would be a small or an extra small. I'd say small. She's not even 5 feet. She's short and little, fun sized, I call it. I love that. See, I love that. My nephew, we caught it early. I caught it early with my sister, and she was having a hard time sort of accepting it, but he went nonverbal, stopped talking at around 1. He was talking and then stopped around 1. And so around almost 2, he was just pointing and like making noises basically. And then that's when I started to realize, like, all right, let me try to help you out here with my sister. And I was watching him while my sister worked, and I had my little, right? And they're 2 years apart. Mine's 2 years older. So I just brought her, and I would ask him to tell me what he wanted instead of pointing at it or making a noise. And even if he tried just a little, I would give it to, you know what I mean? And then he saw the way that my daughter would ask for something and receive that thing because she asked for it, right? And so we started to pick up on what she was doing by me being there every day and watching him. And little by little, I mean, he's still not where he should be, but he's doing all complete sentences. He's in kindergarten and he's, behind for his age, but now he's like, you can't shut him up. He's just, boop, 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 So it's good that we caught it very early. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. See, music and Bruin. See, that is easy to buy for. You know what I mean? You wash it, but you don't throw it in the dryer. Don't put it in the dryer. What you do is you put it on top of the dryer, right? So when the dryer is drying everything inside, it's still hot, it's still warm, but it's not burning off all the like fluff and coziness inside of it. So you want to air dry it sort of, or dry it, put it on top of the dryer while the dryer is drying everything inside. And the heat will dry it, but not so much that it's like burning off all the fuzzy and coziness inside. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Oh, the damn, what we have? Does anybody else have the damn elf on a shelf? That freaking elf, man. That goddamn elf is going to be the bane of my existence. Bane of my existence. Stupid elf. I'm running out of ideas for the thing, all right? See, that's cool, though, that she knows how to do that. We taught sign language to my daughter when she was little, when it was taking a long time. We did, more, little things for sign language. And she got better and better and better. I'm small enough to be on the Wizard of Oz. Stop it. My daughter is, she's not even 5 feet. Her disease causes like short stature, not short where like she's disproportionate, but she won't probably ever be bigger than 5 feet. And she's not. She's about 4'10", 4'11". She's never going to be. My husband has T-Rex arms. He loves his T-Rex arms. That's what I call him. Because he's like bulky here, right? But he thinks his wingspan is not as long as his body. So he says he has T-Rex arms, but I don't see that. But when he says that, I'm just like, I love your T-Rex arms. I don't know what you're talking about. Or wash it by itself, maybe. Maybe that is the secret. It's a good idea. Ooh, tennis balls. I've heard that. Shell toes. OMG. My daughter's father wouldn't wear anything but shell toes forever. See, that's what happened with my nephew. We sort of brought my daughter, I brought my daughter obviously with me to watch him at my sister's house. And he just kind of picked up from her and with me pushing just a little, I mean, I have fun with it, that's for sure. Make no mistake. But my husband probably comes up with more ideas than I do with that stinking elf. Yep, put it on top of the dryer. Yep, that's what I do. I put it on top. Yeah, she's about 4'10", maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. I don't even think she's at 100. I think she's at like 80 something. But again, she's got a G tube. So at night she gets feeds from, because she can eat as much as she wants, like by hand. But her body burns off like 3 times more than what she could ever take in because of her disease. So at night she's got the G tube to give her all the extra like nutrients that her body isn't getting or that's burning off. And she's, I think it's like, she's at like 88 pounds right now, the last they checked, right? The T-Rex. You didn't? Thank God you didn't, all right? Because it gets to be a lot. Okay, no, that's called fun-sized, all right? So tell me all right, fun-sized. Fun-sized. You're welcome. Me too. That means you're a member. I love all the green. All the green. Ooh, so is Terry fabric. 5'11", 105 pounds. See, you're fun size though. Fun size. So my daughter used to really get upset that she was much smaller than the other kids because it was, you know, a big difference after a while. Not when she was little, but like as she got older, there was she could tell, right? And I would just tell her, "You're fun sized. You're just fun sized. You're not small. You're just fun sized, darling. Fun sized. That's it. Just fun sized. That's all." Hold on 1 second, guys. Six, 5. God damn. Damn. Right? You could say that again, Carol. Fabric is a good thing to know about. My grandmother taught me to sew when I was little. I could hand sew. So at least I'm good for something, right? At least I'm good for something. That is a tall man. 6'5". Dang. 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 Jeez Louise. That is a very tall man. I'd be like, how's the weather up there, sir? Like, how is the weather up there? He does. Oh my God, now I have to watch that. Now I have to watch that. That is something I have to watch. I am loving all of the green in the chat. That means, and the blue, because the blue is the mods, right? They're blue because they're mods. And then there's the green, which are those of you who are members. I love that. I love so much green in the chat today. I love it, love it, love it. Get your membership, folks. Get your membership. Or you could be like Art Deco and gift memberships, or there's a bunch of other ways to support the channel because we can't do this without you. We cannot do it without you. So there's many ways to support the channel. We have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. We have an Amazon wish list. We have a link in chat that's at the top. You can just use your good old debit or credit card and enter any amount you want. You can enter any little note you want. And I love getting them. I love getting everybody's notes. I especially love when I'm not live anymore and some of them come through. So it's like, oh, it just reminds me that someone didn't see it live and, oh, they're watching it now, you know? And those always make my day for some reason. I don't know why. It's the little things. I'm telling you, it's the little things. Those always make my day. And then, of course, I always read those, you know, on the next one, on the next live stream, just as my way of saying thank you, you know, but you can remain anonymous and I'll just say it's from anonymous. But without you guys, it's not possible to keep the channel running, right? I can't do it without the support of all of you. And so I appreciate any and all support, because you guys are what makes it happen. Like you're the reason that we have a chat. You're the reason that we have conversations that are super, super important. Listen, I love getting emails. I love it. I love when I get emails from you guys. It's like my favorite part of the day to read these emails from you guys. And some of you say you have fun tips and tricks, and you guys know that I love Halloween. So I've been getting a lot of good Halloween pictures, and I love it. I love it. I freaking love it. I absolutely love it. I do. I really do. Oh, my shorts. You want to know exactly how? So, you know what's done pissed me off about the shorts? There are people who have found us from the shorts, but I looked, right? I peeked. I just wanted to see, like, what are the shorts actually doing for the channel at all? Like, you know? And, okay, it has people that find us through the shorts, a couple, right? Just a couple. But I looked to see, like, how much are the shorts actually even making the channel? You guys are going to crap yourselves. As of right this minute, the shorts have made a total of $2.19. Go shorts. Like, what? What? You gotta make, no wonder people make so many of them. And they're not, what? Yeah, $2.19 total. I kid you not. You get next to nothing for the shorts, for people watching the shorts. I kid you. I'm like, what? $2.19 total on the shorts. I kid you not. I literally kid you not. I mean, I guess it helps people sort of find the channel, but at the same time, it's like, really, YouTube? Really, though? Like, really? That's what we're doing? Like, sorry, we were buffering. I had to fix it. Stupid shorts. Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? Now I can retire. It's set. I can retire now. I'm freaking rich. The problem is YouTube has so many rules. That's the problem, right? Is there's so many rules on what you can and can't do that it kind of restricts what you can. If you're only one person like I am, and you don't have, like, you know, hired help, makes it a little more difficult. You know, a lot of the bigger channels have hired marketing people or another person they hire to do all their social media, and I'm only one freaking person. So I can only do so much, but I will happily take your tips and tricks, my friend. That's for sure. I will not spend it all in one place. I promise. I promise. I mean, when I looked, I was like, is this real life? I think it made like 5 cents yesterday. What was it? Oh, 3 cents on the 17th, because it's 2 days behind. So 3 whole cents. Same. I think a lot. Believe me. But I mean, I did just put the merch out. So we do have some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some working on it. I'm also working on other pieces of merch and things like that. But it takes a lot of freaking times. I love emails. I love them. I do. I love emails from you guys. I told you we sold a cup this morning. We sold the Turtle Tears cup this morning. Because I fixed it. For some reason it wasn't working for like Canada or other countries, and now it does. Everything's set. Checkout works. I fixed it. It's done. So with all of you with sweatshirts in your carts, it is now there. I enjoy all of you. See, that's the difference, right? I enjoy my community. I enjoy my chat. I enjoy all of you guys who come here and hang out, especially on a Sunday. Our Sunday streams are just so everywhere, right? Because we're talking about all sorts of different things. Whatever pops up in a chat, whatever pops up with you guys, whatever you guys want to talk about, that's usually what we talk about, because it's a Sunday, right? Everybody's at home, relaxing, hanging out. It's not too serious, right? It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday fun day. Like, obviously, we will point out things like, you know, bullying and creators bullying are bad. That's not good, right? And we're going to point out when people are doing things that are just deplorable and disgusting. We're going to do that, right? Because especially when it comes to people like the sewer turtle, because there's just too many victims that have contacted me that I, won't speak publicly, and I don't blame them. There's various reasons on why they won't. But imagine being threatened in submission, basically. I mean, what that would do to someone, I don't know. See, I've never done long form videos. I mean, I do live stream. So live stream and long form are different. Long form are edited sort of videos. I've never done, I've edited, obviously. I did my intro and outro myself, but I've never done sort of long form videos. I like the live streaming aspect just because it's more interaction with my audience. When you do the long form, people can comment on it after. But I prefer the interaction with people, right? Like live. So I don't know. Maybe it's possible that the long, form videos make the most money. It would make sense, but I don't know. I do know the shorts aren't making much. That's for sure. No wonder why some people don't do shorts at all. But hey, who knows? Maybe you just have to be at it with the shorts for a while. The point of the shorts is it does have other people find your shorts, and then we'll find your channel through the shorts in some way, So we have a truth bomb, folks. We're not going to put the person's government name out there because that wouldn't be cool, but we do have a $10 truth bomb for Sunday's truth bombs and for the ass whipping Notre Dame put on the Trojans last night. Ha ha ha. Thank you. I appreciate that truth bomb. Thank you very, very much. Dropping them truth bombs. Well, technically, when people do rewatch it, it counts for the views. So it does help because then the ads, it's the ads that help. It's not necessarily the content itself, it's the ads that YouTube puts in there. So like there's so many skippable ads and so many non-skippable ads and all that stuff. And that stuff makes a difference. The skippable ads and the non-skippable ads. That's what makes the difference. That's because you're getting paid for ad revenue, The Cash App just went off. Okay, we got a $5 from Anonymous, a $5 truth bomb from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous, for your $5 truth bomb. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I don't know. That makes no sense to me either, because you'd think that they'd want to push the shorts, like YouTube themselves would want to push the shorts. Thank you, too. At least that's what I would think, like YouTube would want to sort of, especially since they're like a newer thing. But I guess not. I don't know. You would think that they would do a little better for their creators and that. Here's the thing. The smaller the creator, the harder it's going to be, no matter what. The monetization is a pain in the ass. They take a very large chunk, and apparently iDevices, if you do it from like an Apple device, they take a chunk too. So you get even less of it. So, I guess if they gave the smaller creators a little bigger of a, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, maybe that's nothing when you have 300,000 views a video, but it's a lot when you're going to channels that have small, maybe we'll do that one day. Maybe we'll do like for the ladies, Maybe we'll do that for the ladies. Maybe we could take up one of our Sunday streams to do that, or maybe we can do it a nighttime one. Nighttime, I think, would be hard, though, because I kind of need the light. So I feel like it would have to be a daytime one for that, I feel like it would have to be. To be fair, though, I'm very quick. I'm very quick when I do my makeup. I'm very quick. Where normally it might take someone, an hour and a half. It takes me about, because I don't do certain things. Like, obviously, I don't need to use mascara. I use lashes, right? And I don't use blush because I have rosacea. and psoriasis. So I don't use blush, but I do use bronzer and highlighter. So, you know, see the Kelsey, I mean, I have covered some of the Kelsey Fitzsimmons thing. My biggest problem with that is I honestly think her attorney is screwing her. You know, I really think her attorney is screwing her, right? I do. I think that half of the problem is I've already said I don't think she needs to be in jail because that's not going to help her mental health, right? We don't have a mental health prison for women the same way we do for men in Massachusetts, right? Maybe if we did, it'd be a little different, but we just don't. So I think, you know, she would need to be in a facility for mental health. You're not going to get that in jail. All that's really going to do is make your postpartum worse. You know, I don't think pulling someone's child away from them while they have postpartum was the right thing to do either. You know, I think that she should have been granted at least visits with her child in whatever way that looks that the court supports, but at least that. I don't think giving full custody without any, you know, any talk at all, you know, when any visit at all, it was the right thing to do for a new mom. I think that's horrible. You know, that would be horrible. Yeah, see, I'm quick. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just practice. I'm just quick, you know? Well, that's what he should have had. See, that's the problem is Bradle's too used to, you know, giving the court a narrative and then just buying his BS narrative. And I think this judge probably had interaction with him before where he was less than truthful because he has a very bad habit of being less than honest with the court. And so if you're not going to bring evidence in hand to show, then why would she take your word for it, right? Lawyers do that stuff all the time. All the freaking time where they just bullshit the court into giving them what they want. Judges don't like that. They want to see it where they can look at it and be like, okay, thank you, right? They want medical documentation. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. But he couldn't fucking do it. Also, in 2 days, he tried to remove basically all the protections that the court put in place to release her. Well, the court had to put some protections in to release you. That's what they do every time, right? So it's not different than what they would do for someone else. But when you remove all of them within a 2-day span, that's basically saying, okay, we just wanted to get her out. And now, piece by piece, we're going to remove everything that the court wanted her to do. And so to the court, you're playing games. That's what it looks like to the court and to the judge, that you're just fucking playing games, right? And so he kind of screwed her with doing it the way he did it and being as presumptive as he was, right? Playing the narrative game. All he had to do was bring the evidence and say, could we get a different option for this, please? And I think it wouldn't have been as big as a problem. I also think that he pissed off the judge with his fucking attitude, you know? Most attorneys wouldn't. You would bring what you're asking them to do, especially when it comes to your client being out of jail. Most attorneys would come prepared. He was not prepared, right? He was not prepared. That's the other thing, right? I mean, they'd just be like, oh, why is she covering it? You know what I mean? Like, you got. Listen, I'm very open about the ones I'm going to cover, and everybody knows I'm covering the Brian Walsh case. So for them to come be like, I'm covering the Walsh, yeah, I already said I was covering the Walsh case and the Clancy case. Those are not shockers. I've been talking about them forever. You know what I mean? Yeah, mental health care is what she needs. It's not sitting in a jail cell. You know what I mean? He should have brought the evidence into court with him, and I think the judge really wouldn't have had a reason to not change it, right? You know? Maybe that could have been it too, but at the same time, in my eyes, it's that he was ill prepared and that it looked like he was playing games when he tried to remove basically all the protections the court put in place within 3 days after her being out. Like, to the judge, that looks like you're just trying to remove everything, and that's that. And that's not a good look. You know what I mean? I would never hire either one of his attorneys ever. No, they didn't give the judge the medical records or the medical documentation saying this is what's going on. That was one of the judge's biggest problems, she said. That was the thing. Old records and proving right now that she can't breathe on that machine, like that's something separate you have to prove, right? And all he had to do was bring him a doctor's note from one of her doctors, which I'm sure they could have easily written, you know. No, I don't work with any of the attorneys on any cases. I know I don't have to be working with any of the attorneys to be working on her case. I do plenty of cases that I never speak to the attorney with. What I'm saying is, because some of these other channels are covering it, I really haven't had the need, because I'm not in the mood for the extra trolls, you know what I mean? I'm just not. I love Bailey Sarian. I think she's great, you know? I think she's freaking great. Murder mysteries are my thing. Yeah, he definitely pissed a judge off, you know? That he really pissed it. Cruel and unusual punishment. Like, being a little bit dramatic. And I think, like, you're going to piss the judge off if you're going to be dramatic like that. What did he expect? Let's be real, you know? You know? I mean, I have covered it. I have talked about it. It's not something I haven't talked about. It's a case I've talked about previous. But I think that the problem is if I start covering that case when there's already so many people covering that case, this is something they're gonna. I mean, I have no problem covering it. There's not a lot of hearings sort of coming up on it right in this moment. But yeah, exactly. I know exactly. I mean, again, there are like varying degrees of postpartum. I had postpartum, but there are varying degrees. There's like Lindsay Clancy postpartum, and then there's like what I had, which was like more on the lower end of like baby blues, just stressy and depressy, right? Like there's a whole middle ground there. You know, postpartum is not the same for everyone, and if you get it the first time, you're at risk every pregnancy. Thankfully, I only had it my first child, you know. My sister the same, only the first child. So, but it's a very real thing. My sister had it differently than I had it. I mean, person to person, it's different. But I do know that, at least for me, taking your child away from you, I don't think that would have been, good for my postpartum. I mean, I just don't, no derailing over here. I mean, listen, I love ideas. I love ideas. See, that's what I'm saying. Some people get like the whole rigmarole, like, right? Postpartum psychosis. I never had that. I had just sort of the baby blues. You know what I mean? Just sort of like stressy and depressing. I was just depressing, like I also was going through a lot at that time in my life. I was very young when I had my daughter, and I was still trying to escape my abuser, who actively was abusive. And so I think that played a big part in my postpartum at that time, So, listen, I get it, but there are other people covering it too, I mean, I've covered it. Yeah, so Bridgewater is exactly where I used to work, and it's not a mental hospital, it's a prison. So Bridgewater is, they like to call it, it's called Bridgewater State Hospital, but there's nothing hospital about it. They're cells, they're inmates, there's a camera in every single cell. We had to do count every, couple hours, but we had to check every room every 15 minutes on my unit. My unit was intake, so it was B1. And so when they would come in every 15 minutes, so it's like a suicide watch, but you're on it perpetually when you're in that unit. And so every 15 minutes, we'd have to check each cell, make sure everyone's breathing, no one's trying to hurt themselves, right? And so the job at Bridgewater is to see if the inmate is able to stand trial. If they're actually having, where they're not competent to stand trial, or are they competent to stand trial? And so they do an analysis to decide whether you're what we call malingering, which is like essentially faking it just so you can have better benefits of being at Bridgewater. Or are you just not competent to stand trial because like you're that, right? And I highly think that he's competent to stand. Listen, there's people who I literally think that were not competent at all to stand trial. And they were still like, yeah, nope, competent to stand trial. So I have no doubt in my mind that Brian Walsh will be found competent to stand trial, 100%. you know, 100%. So, I mean, I don't know who did his analysis, but he'll be found competent to stand trial. It might take a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, but he'll be competent. No, make no mistake. Yeah, I think there's a lot of missing pieces too for me, a little bit, you know. I think we definitely don't have all the pieces to be going that far yet, you know. I mean, what corruption exists other than, you know, the judge not putting her back? And in that case, it was kind of lawyer incompetence on the behalf of that, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I need more information on that before I feel comfortable being like, you know, a whole rigmarole with that, you know. I think that's not the right place for her. I think mental health is the right place for her. Definitely. I don't think she's going to get any sort of help she needs in jail. Who does? Especially when it comes to mental health. It's just not an option. We don't have a Bridgewater for women. Bridgewater is just men. It's strictly men. Yeah, right? Like the baby blues. Yep. Baby. Yeah. So the medicine can actually do the opposite effect. That's why they have, like, you know, warning, if you take this medicine, it can make you want to do that, you know? Oh, I definitely do. I have done recaps on it and opinions on that case because I think it's important still to have the conversation about postpartum. You know, one of the reasons why I'm covering the Clancy case is that, you know, it's a problem, and there's definitely corruption in Massachusetts. I've lived it. I know it. You know, where it exists is the problem, right? I think there's a lot of corruption when it comes to the cops wanting to do what they want to do when they want to do it, or the DAs wanting to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and depending on who it is, right? If I was a judge's daughter, would they take it more seriously? Of course they would. If I was a state trooper's daughter, would they take it more seriously? Sure would. 100% they would. Would they be doing everything they could to make sure that the sewer turtle was in jail for the crimes he's committed? If I was a judge's daughter, or if I was a state trooper's daughter, 100% they would. 100%. Now that's a problem, right? That's a serious issue because it shouldn't matter whether I'm a judge's daughter or not. Justice should be the same. It should be just as serious for a judge's daughter as it is for me, right? It should be the same. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have in the justice system as a whole, not just here in Massachusetts, but as a whole. Massachusetts, though, there's a lot of things that they don't take serious here that any other state, you'd already be sitting in a jail cell, right? That's a problem for me. That's a huge problem for me, you know? Oh, please. I don't even want to hear that nonsense. He got stabbed in jail. It's so traumatizing. Well, you know, listen, bud, I've been through 10 times worse. I don't want to fucking hear it. That's traumatizing, but cutting up your wife's body isn't traumatizing? I fail to see the correlation here. Oh, well, I mean, that's one thing, you know? I mean, I don't know if necessarily you'd call that corruption, though, because that'd be like the husband, right? Like, he's not the government, you know? Like, that's more just what's the issue with him, right? Let's dig it into what's the issue with the fiance or the ex-fiance, whatever it is, right? The child's dad. That I found really fucked up. Okay, I've never seen a filing where they ask for the funds from her home sale to be held ahead of time for child support for a baby that's not even however many months. That makes no sense. I don't see any court granting that. You can't ask for funds ahead of time for child support. There is no legal precedent for that at all, period. So him asking for that spoke volumes to me about what he really was looking to do there. Because I have never heard someone ask for something like that. It was crazy to me, right? That was crazy. Yeah, I know he's a firefighter, but that's not the government. You know what I mean? But that was some weird shit. That was some weird. I've never seen something like that. Like, you can't get child support ahead of time. You can't get. You can't. You can't. You just can't. You can't. You know? And it's apparently an angle, and his parents work with getting people involuntarily sectioned. So it's just a lot. I mean, that's why I say, like, I need more information on it before I can, you know what I mean? It's, oh, Pembroke Hospital. Yeah, good for him. Good for him. It's not for the faint of heart, Visa. To work in that field is not for the faint of heart. Working in Bridgewater was not for the faint of heart. But I loved it. I loved that job. And again, if I could afford fucking 40, 50, 60 grand in childcare, then I'd go right back. No problem. You know? Absolutely. I loved it. You know, you get to help people. What's better than that? There's nothing better than that, you know? Not necessarily. Just because he's a firefighter doesn't make it corruption. I think him himself might have some issues, right? I think that it's not okay. I mean, here, that's a bold ask. To ask for someone's house, like a lien, to be put on her home sale for child support ahead of time is fucking bonkers. All right. That's not how child support works. There are very fine lines for child support. There's federal guidelines and then there's state guidelines. And they're laid out. Like, this is like, they're laid out. You cannot take 50%, more than 55% of someone, I think it's 55% of someone's income for child support, period. Okay. So no, he can't ask for a lien to be put on her home to get child support ahead of time because he doesn't think she'll pay it. The court can't be like, well, we don't think you'll pay it, so we don't think you have income. Well, if she doesn't, then it goes to the minimum, which would be $20 a week. That's the way it works. You don't just get to say, well, she's selling her house for a substantial amount of money, and I would like some of that money for, you know, child support for the future. There is no legal precedent for that. You're not getting that. You're not getting. That's not happening. You know, that's freaking weird. Like, that is weird as fuck. If his parents are telling him what to do, they're giving shit advice. That's shit advice. No court is going to grant that. There is no legal precedent for that. It's not going to happen. You know, that is fucking weird. That's weird too. Like, there's obviously something weird is going on. What it is, I don't know. Right? I don't know. That's the part that gets me, is I'm like, what in the actual hell are these people thinking? If someone, like, you can't ask for 18 years of child support before even getting full custody, number one. Number two, you can't get future child support. Like, it goes on a week by week basis. You can't be like, well, I don't think she's going to pay it, so I would like a year ahead of time with her house sale. It's not the way it works. They're not getting that. That's sorry, not sorry, you know? That's another thing. How do you know she couldn't get disability? And even in that case, they would have to put the child support at minimum. Never mind the fact that it's like, aren't you a firefighter? They make decent money. You hired a nanny, right? A nanny? You know? Like, that's weird. That's just weird for me, you know? He wants a lien put on it, but they're not going to put a lien on it. No, they were never married. It's her house. They were never married. It is her house. So they're not going to put a lien on that for child. He wants it for child support that hasn't happened yet. Not going to happen. That's just weird to even ask for that. That's weird. You know, that is freaking weird. I know what you meant. I got what you meant. I got what you meant. But yeah, they were never married. It's not his house. It's her house. Okay. So he's asking for a lien to be put on the house so that he can get child support that hasn't happened yet. Because he doesn't think she'll be gainfully employed. Well, you don't see, the court doesn't rule on you don't think, right? They don't rule on what you think might happen or what you think how she can afford it. That's the case. They have to put it at the minimum, which is $20 a week. And whether her parents help her pay it or whatever, that's what the court has to do. The court cannot be like, oh, she's selling her house. Cool, we'll put a lien on it and give you this amount before the child support ever happens. Before it's ever decided how much she should even pay based on her. It's based on earned income. It's not based on a house sale. It's not the way it works. It's based on your income right then and there in that moment, not what she used to make, not what she's gonna make, what she is making right now. So I agree with this statement. Like, somebody should be, you know, looking into what the fuck is he thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I mean, well, the lawyers have, you know, well, they're supposed to, right? They're supposed to have investigators. Bradle has an investigator. Like, they're supposed to be doing that, you know? At least if you're giving your client the best defense you can give them, you should be having your investigators look into some of these things and what the actual F is going on, you know? I know you mean me, but I mean, there's probably some information I won't be able to get, right? Like that's big pieces of the puzzle that I might not be able to get. Yeah, never married. Like that's what? You have no ties to her home, period. You know, it does not make him entitled to her property. It's not earned income. You can't count it. It's not the way it works. You cannot count it towards child support that hasn't happened yet. There's been no child support order put in yet. So you can't, that's not the way it works. The fact that they're, it's weird. It's freaking weird, you know? I mean, but that's the other thing. We don't know, right? You can say that they did, but how do we know she didn't have alcohol issues? She could have, right? She could have. They could have exaggerated it, but could she have had alcohol issues? She could have, right? So that's the other thing. I can't just go off on a tangent and be like, well, she didn't have any alcohol issues. Well, we don't know that, right? Like she could have had alcohol issues. Could they have exaggerated them on purpose? Sure could have. They sure could have, right? But it's like those are the things that you can't just jump in and be like, she wasn't an alcoholic, didn't have. Well, we don't know that, right? We don't know that she didn't have a little bit of a problem. Drinking every night would have been a problem, you know, like that's a problem. So I mean, we don't know. Well, that's not always true either. They're not always born with fetal alcohol syndrome if you're, you know, just starting to drink at the end of the pregnancy. Or what if she waited until after that baby was born and then she started heavily drinking, right? She still could have had an alcohol problem. Could they have exaggerated? Yes. You know, you don't know. Listen, alcoholics, they will breastfeed even if they've drank. I'm telling you, I kid you not. Also, the doctors tell you can breastfeed if you, I think it's wine. I believe it's wine. You can have wine and stuff. So again, there are a multitude of things that would need to be looked into to either debunk or not debunk that. You know what I'm saying? Well, that might be what he's trying to do, but nobody's going to give that to him because they were never married. So he has no right to her home or her belongings or anything. He's definitely coming off as vindictive. That's for sure. Asking for the funds for her home to be sold and given to him ahead of time before a child support order is ever even given is fucking absurd and is definitely vindictive, you know? Definitely. And of course, it makes it hard to believe, you know, things in the protective order. But you also have to realize that there's probably some truth to something, right? Even if it's not everything, there's probably a little bit of truth to something. And that's the problem, right? Is some of those things need to be weeded out, right? What is and what isn't, what is true and what isn't, because you can't just go in and be like, well, it isn't because he's being vindictive, right? Because then later on, if it comes out that, well, you know, she heavily started drinking after she gave birth, then guess what? Then you just lied to a lot of people and a lot of people repeated that lie and that does a lot of damage, right? So that's where you have to be very, very careful when you're, you know, investigating this and sort of making sure that these are the answers that you can get before you ever start saying what is and what isn't for a fact, right? You know what I mean? Well, that's not true. I know. Just listen. Do you know how many cops I know on duty that have had serious alcohol issues that should have never been on duty? I don't even know how they got away with it as long as they did. And some still get away with it. You have to remember, like, you know, cops stick up for each other. It happens, you know? I get it. And I would give the benefit of the doubt to anybody. But what I'm saying is, for me, right, for me as a channel, I would have to be very careful about being like, well, she didn't have any, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't know that to be true. I haven't looked into any of that. So I would have to go digging, really digging, and trying to see what is or what isn't. I have a platform. So where you guys can give your opinions, right? Like you can give any opinion you want and cool, whatever. I have a platform. So I have to be a little more careful about saying what is and what isn't unless I can go and confirm what is and what isn't. Do you see what I mean? Because if I say something is and then it comes out that it isn't, and I didn't do my due diligence, right? That's my fault, right? And that could have hurt someone, whether it's him or her, right? And I have to be fair to everyone, right? Exactly. So I tread lightly before I am able to differentiate what is and what isn't in a case like that. because I definitely think he's treading deep on being kind of an asshole, right? That's my opinion based on the pleadings. I think anybody trying to get any amount of money before they're even granted any fucking child support is crazy. Also, there's no legal precedent for that. He's not going to get that. That's nutty. That's fucking nutty. And if his parents actually did tell him to do that, doesn't he have an attorney? Can somebody answer that? Does he have an attorney? Was there an attorney that filed the pleading on his behalf, or did he do it like himself? Who knows? Probably because they have to make her look bad to try to get custody, to try, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen this happen a million. Listen, I've helped many, many families privately with these very same issues, right? So I'm very well versed in, what the court system does, what it doesn't do, and how people get screwed all the fucking time. Believe me, I get it. Well, that's the other thing, though. So that's my other problem, is you can put anything in a legal document. Do you see what he put in his legal document? You can put anything in a legal document. It doesn't mean it's true, right? All the shit he put in. Do we know that all to be true? Probably not, right? He can put anything he wants in that legal document. Doesn't mean that it's true. That's the other problem, right? So before, I go reading out a legal document and then everybody takes that as like 100%, gold to be true, you have to get both sides. And then you have to try to get evidence to support or debunk or that was weird, or one or the other, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, I could put in a legal document that I watched from my window as you undressed and ran into the street naked, and maybe that never happened, but I'm trying to make you look like an asshole. Now that's in a legal document that I wrote that you did that. I read it out to the world. Now the world thinks that you did that, even though it never happened and I made it up. Why? Because it's in a legal document. Do you see where I'm going with this? You know what I mean? There are 2 lawyers' signatures. Are we fucking serious, dude? 2 lawyers actually signed off on that, knowing that that's not going to happen? I mean, what? Like, what? I get it. But at the same time, like, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm careful. I'm careful because I know the damage that can be done to someone by stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, by stuff just being read from a legal document and some of that stuff not even being true. Someone's real life can be harmed by that, even hers. You know what I'm saying? Him putting that shit in a legal document that might not be true, reading that to the world, then there are people who are going to think, wow, what a scumbag she is, right? Like, they're going to think it's automatically true. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I'm very careful, very, very careful. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm saying I have to be careful as a content creator to go through all the things to debunk, all of it, all of what can be debunked and gain evidence for what can, be gained evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to pick apart all of these things because I'm not just giving an opinion to just, in a comment, you know what I mean? Like, I have a platform. So I have to be a little more careful because, yeah, we've seen this go left real fast and it can hurt people, You don't want to be giving any false information that would hurt anyone, at all. And a lot of things are one-sided until the trial. That's what happens, I mean, thus far, the court system has given her the same as what they would give me or you or anyone else. The only difference there is her lawyer. He should have brought evidence, and he did not. And he pissed off the judge. He gave a little bit of like narrative and did the whole like, oh, it's in fucking accusing the judge basically of cruel and unusual punishment. So it's like, that was a Bradle misstep. That was a fucking mistake by the attorney, right? Like, that was a no-no, and he made that no-no. So, I mean, the other stuff, like the trying to get the house stuff with the boyfriend stuff, like that's crazy. That's fucking bonkers. Like, I don't see any court giving him that. You cannot give an order to give him money from her home for child support that hasn't been ordered yet. And child support's based on your earned income. It's not based on, what you might have to pay later on, because if your income changes, then the child support changes. So you can't just guesstimate how much you would owe for however many. There's no legal way to do that. I don't even know how 2 lawyers signed off on that. I would love to know who the lawyers were that signed off on that, because they're not very bright, in my opinion. They're not very fucking bright if you're going to sign off on something that fucking absurd and ridiculous, knowing there's no chance in hell it's going to happen. What that tells me is if those attorneys signed off on that, knowing there's no fucking chance in hell that's going to happen, what they did was they did that more as just a public statement than a legal pleading, right? Which a lot of times lawyers will use these legal pleadings to tell the public things, true and not true, false and true at the same time, right? So to me, it seems like more, I don't know why they would publicly want. It just makes him look like a fucking asshole. So I don't even know why they would do that, but hey, who knows? You know what I mean? You know, who knows? It's a fair question, Jim. That's a very fucking fair question, I think. I think that's very fair to ask. You know? I think it's very, very, very fair to ask that if he's distracted too much with the sewer turtle to give Kelsey 100%. And I mean, that very well could be the case. You have to remember he's very needy, so he calls his attorneys a lot. And so maybe it's possible. You have to remember they're getting these cases because of the sort of publicity with his. So they're getting these other ones because of that. So they're going to put up with him as long as humanly possible so that it keeps bringing in other people that they can actually take these cases for. But it's a fair question. Is he distracted that he's not giving his other clients 100%? And not doing the things that he should be doing as an attorney? I don't know. It's a damn good question, though. You know, that's a damn good question. Right. I would have to dig in a little more, you know? Yeah, I think the X is doing a lot of extra, but the judge has done, I think, what any other judge would do. Unfortunately, Bradel thinks, and I agree with you here, hyperbole can win rulings. You can't just narrative until you win, right? And I've noticed even with the sewer turtle stuff, like when he can't spew straight narrative, like when he has to do like an actual legal argument, he starts to fumble. He starts to stutter and fumble, and the judge is like, I don't want to hear the narrative. I just want to hear the legal argument about why. I don't want to, because he only knows how to do is point fingers, really. Point fingers. This one's bad, that one's bad, this one's an asshole, that one's an asshole. He turns around and looks at the court, and the judge is like, I'm here. What are you turning around to look at them for? I'm right here. Like, last time the judge said that to him, I started cracking up. You know, he's putting on this grand show for everyone. Like, dude, the judge is your show. That's your client. Care more about the judge than you care about who the fuck is sitting behind you. Right? And half of his problem is he's used to doing this whole narrative thing where he can, thinks he can talk his way out of it instead of legal argument your way out of it. No, you can't, bro. Especially specific judges. They will not deal with that. They will not, you know? Well, I don't think they're going to put, there's no legal precedent for them to put a lien on her home, you know? That's the other thing. There's no, for child support, there would be a lien if like she owed him money or bankruptcy, something like that. But you can't put a lien on a house for future child support. So he's not going to get the lien either. You know, it's weird to even ask that. I get it. If doing Brett's house was making her pass out and I had proof of this, that would be different. But he just said she's tired for hours after, which just isn't proof, just words. Well, that's the problem, right? All he had to do was ask one of her doctors to write a fucking letter saying it was causing her severe pain or discomfort. That's all he had to do. That's it. That is it. Have them fax it to the court if they have to. That's all he had to do. And he didn't do it. Why? Why not? You know? Was he too busy with the sewer turtle? I don't know. It's a damn good fucking question. That's a damn good question, you know? That is a very, very good freaking question. You know? I mean, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have to realize that that's going nowhere. You're not getting that lien, right? So if two lawyers signed off on that, basically knowing you're not going to get that lien, like you're just not going to, then what did they really do it for? Why would you want the public to know that you were going for a lien that you know that you couldn't get. That's the weird thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's weird to me. It's really weird. They said it was extreme pain that she was in when trying to blow into that machine. Her probation officer even witnessed it. Think about it. She was shot in the chest. Yeah, no, I get that, and I understand it. But at the same time, you're asking a judge, right? So the judge can't just go on, you said so. If that was the case, then every person would complain about something to get off of their, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's a parent. So what the judge wanted was, give me something I can go on to do this, right? And Bradel didn't do that. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Oh, that's nice. Doesn't seem like a very nice guy, huh? Well, that's all they had to do was bring something from the doctor, you know? And that also pissed off the judges. The original order was just 3 days before, right? So, and he tried twice. Bradel tried twice. He wanted to remove that, and then he wanted to remove something else within 3 days' time. And the judge, that's basically saying to the judge, like, I just want to get my client out, and then I want to remove all the terms that are attached to her being out. Well, the judge let her out with those terms. So now you're essentially saying you're trying to okey doke the court, and they do not like that. They do not like that. Well, that's because again, he gave no medical documentation, because people they have surgeries with them on all the time. All you had to do was bring a document saying that the hospital said she can't have that on while she's having the surgery. He didn't do that because, like the judge said, and I've seen this a million times, so I know, they can have surgery with an ankle monitor on. Plenty of surgeries happen with an ankle monitor on. So that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's my brother forever ago had an ankle monitor on, and we asked that same question because they don't oftentimes want you to have like your phone in there because of whatever, and they have like ways to work around you having the ankle monitor on. My brother had the ankle monitor on, and they still did the surgery without a hiccup, without a problem. So I mean, again, different surgeries. Some you can, some you can't, some you just can't, right? And so all you had to do was bring a piece of paper that said she cannot wear this ankle monitor for this surgery. And I'm sure the judge would have been like, okay, cool, we'll remove it for that, but it needs to be put back on after the surgery's over, right? You know what I mean? I mean, that's a possibility too, but she is getting the same treatment that really anyone else would get. She would expect that my attorney bring the same thing if it was me, you know? Yeah, I think that's kind of a problem, right? I think that maybe she needs a new attorney, you know? I think she might need a new attorney. That's my opinion, you know? Well, that's another thing. If you waited a little more time and see if she could, you know, maybe work through it on the scram, I think they would have been a little bit, or just bring a freaking letter from the doctor, you know? Just bring a letter from the doctor. He would have been perfectly successful if he did. No, you can. You absolutely can have surgery with an ankle monitor on. My brother's had ankle surgery with a monitor on. It just depends on the surgery. It depends on what kind of surgery, where, right? Whether it's a day surgery or like you have to stay. It depends on what tools they're going to use, all sorts of things. And again, all you had to do was bring a goddamn letter. A goddamn letter from her doctor. Yeah, okie doke. You know, fugazi, okie doke. Try to okie doke. No, that's the problem. He didn't bring the letter from the doctor. That's all he had to do, you know? Right? I feel like we're just like used to it. We're like, all right, letter for the school, for the doctor, you know? Like shit. Now that was the shenanigans with the paralegals were after that, not before that. And to be fair, anybody on planet Earth could have told you that Courtney Healy was not going to be a good person, never mind a good paralegal. She's never been a paralegal a day in her life, you know? That might be true too. That might be true too, that the doctors might not have written a letter or might not have wanted to write a letter. We don't know. We don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We have no idea. That's half the problem, you know? But yeah, no, that happened after her hearings. It didn't happen before. So that's all on him. And again, like you said, he's an attorney. It's up to him to make sure he's fully prepared and fully ready for his client, you know? I have my doctors write letters all the time for all sorts of things. Or my kid has to write a letter, you know, for her to have her inhaler at school. You know what I mean? Like, it's simple things. Like, she can't have her inhaler at school without a doctor's letter. Okay, here's the doctor's letter. You know what I mean? That's weird. Weird. They can fax it over. You know what I mean? Like, why not just get the friggin' letter? Why not, you know? Why not? And that's the issue, is we don't know. We don't know if the doctor didn't write a letter or refused to write a letter because they didn't agree, or if he just never asked to get it. You know, I don't know. I have no idea. No freaking idea. Yeah, it was like a day or two before he asked for it, you know? Yeah, they did agree with the judge. But that's the same thing. Like, I would get that same treatment. That's the difference. That's my point. It's like, I would get that same treatment if it was me. They would want the documentation. They would want it. They're not going to take my word or my attorney's word. They're going to want the documentation. I'm a defendant, right? They don't believe shit you say. Or you're, you know, it's your attorney. Hello. They want to be able to prove it. And they want that if something happens, if something goes wrong, that they did everything that they could do to make sure that everything was in line. Because you see these judges that are being dragged through the mud now because they let some person who was already in trouble before, or, you know, had access to certain things, and they got out and they hurt someone, or they killed someone. And then these judges, people are like, well, why did this judge let this person out? You know what I mean? They didn't do X, Y, and Z. And so now judges are being a little more careful about making sure they have all their freaking, you know, they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's, you know? I think that's part of it. Yeah, no, that's not a thing. In my opinion, that's not a thing. You know, I don't doubt that. A lot of the times, women cops deal with a lot in the workplace. You know, I think that's true for a lot of police departments. Not that it makes it any better, for sure. You know, it's definitely more difficult for women cops than it is for men cops. Let's just be clear. You know, but yes, her lawyer screwed her, essentially, in my opinion. And that's a damn good question Jim brought up. Is it because he's too preoccupied with Aiden running around in his fucking shenanigans? I don't know. It's a very real possibility. You know, it's a very real possibility that that's maybe why. Maybe he wasn't fully prepared. Maybe the doctors didn't want to write the notes. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. But I do know that they would want that same documentation from me. So it's not just her. It's not just her they're demanding it from, you know? And also with the probation officer thing, people are like kind of up in arms. They're like, oh, the probation officer, you know, well, what people don't understand is the probation officer only gets to give recommendations, right? And that is across the board, not just for her, for anyone. I have literally sat in the court and watched the judge not take the recommendation of the probation officer in favor of something else that the defendant wanted, or because the judge thought they were too lenient. I've watched it both ways, right? And then I've watched the judge agree with whatever the probation is asking for. They'll adopt that. So it's happened, you know, all ways. It just depends, right? And so if the judge thinks that probation's being too lenient, they won't adopt what the probation is saying. If they think that the probation officer is being kind of an asshole, they could give the defense and the defendant what they're asking for, right? And sometimes everybody agrees and the judge then adopts that. But then again, you have to remember, the judge has to do their due diligence, right? And so if the probation officer says something that they don't agree with, the judge is the ultimate decider. They do not have to go with the probation's recommendation. They don't have to go with what the probation says or doesn't say, because let's be honest, probation's not always right. And judges see it every day. And no, see, that's the problem though. It's not evidence. It's not. He didn't testify under oath. It's his recommendation, and their recommendations are not testimony. That's the difference. Right? And so, but the judge doesn't have to adopt what the probation officer wants or thinks, right? And again, all she asked for was some documentation. That's all she wanted. Get me some documentation. Sure. Then we can figure something, but that's not what Riddle did. He didn't bring in a letter that said she needs the ankle monitor off to have the surgery. And also, this is giving her great discomfort. Could we please have another option? Instead, he just got in there, pissed off the judge, started talking about, because at that point she was already done. So once you've argued the argument, right, you don't get to then change the argument because you didn't like the judge's answer. And it's at that point the judge was like, no more, right? I don't give a shit what anybody has to say yet. Made my ruling, end of discussion. Or I made my whatever I was going to say, end of discussion. Because once you've made the argument, you can't just then backtrack because you don't like the answer. That's how the court system works, And so kind of like backtracked a little and was trying to sort of, and it's like, well, you should have been prepared when you got there, bud. Like, if you were prepared, she wouldn't be sitting in a jail cell. She would probably be getting therapy and treatment that she needs and not be sitting in that's not going to help her. Sitting in jail cell is not going to help her. It's just not. It's a fact. It's a frigging fact. It's not going to help her by any stretch of the imagination. I do not think she should be sitting in a jail cell at all. At all. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing. She definitely has a valid claim for ineffective assistance of counsel. Will she take it though? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's sort of helping her represent, like, how, whether she has friends or family that even know anything about like the legal system that would know. I don't know. You never know. I don't know. I mean, that's the problem, right? Is unless you sort of, I think, talk to another attorney, I don't think anybody's going to advise her of that unless she has the, to talk to a new lawyer, right? Her lawyer definitely could have done way better by her, for sure. I don't think she'd be sitting in a jail cell right this very second if he had done everything he should have done. That's for sure. 100%. It was good. It was good. I sent Jesse some pictures of, I was a firewoman. So I had my, my chief firewoman hat on and my dress. It has like little suspenders that clip onto this part that clips underneath your chest. And then it got cold, so I put black leggings on, and I had my what you call fireman boots. They're high top, like all the way almost up to my knee, boots that lace up in the front, black boots. They would look like what a firefighter would wear, essentially, but for women. I looked adorable. I looked adorable. It was adorbs. I mean, a paralegal, maybe, but again, he doesn't. What just fired as paralegals again? Well, when you hire people that aren't paralegals to do paralegal jobs, that's kind of what you're going to get. No, I mean, don't hire people that don't know anything about the law and say they're a paralegal, because that's what he did, right? Courtney had never been a paralegal. She knows shit about the law. He was just like, oh, cool, you're like a turtle writer. Okay, great. Well, you can help me be a paralegal. She had no experience in being a paralegal at all. At all. I mean, I get that. You'd have to know, right? You'd have to know. You just have to know as a person that your lawyer's doing a shitty job. And not everybody does. Sometimes the lawyers are just like, oh, it's a bad judge. Oh, it's, you never know. So yeah, somebody would definitely have to be advising her that, like, hey, your attorney's probably not doing everything that he could be doing or should be doing. And yeah, he's definitely not acting in her best interest, or she wouldn't be sitting in a jail cell right now. She would be out. I mean, why hasn't he tried getting documentation and then filing again? Why? The question is why? Get the documentation. You have to ask yourself why he hasn't gotten the documentation. You know what I mean? Because that could have already been done by now. Could have already been done by now. So it's like, God damn, somebody's got to, I mean, I hope her family's got a better idea of hiring a different attorney. Because I think that's her only chance of getting her out of there. Sitting in a jail cell is not going to help her. Not going to help her mental health. It's not going to help any of the situations she's going through. It's just not. It's unfortunately just not. And I really hope that someone in her family, in her life, in her friends, anyone sort of realizes, like, hey, I think we need to hire a different attorney here. Ooh, yes, of course. We totally can. Not today, but maybe for tomorrow, because that case is shortly coming up. That's one of the cases I'm going to cover. And so, maybe everybody does need like a little recap of what is going on in that case. There's a lot that has gone on in that case, a lot. Yeah, so right. Legally, like, yeah, demeanor, she might have been kind of a little bit, harsh, right? She could have been lighter, in my opinion, but legally speaking, her hands are kind of, tied at that point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about hiring someone on I wouldn't hire a hetero if you paid me. Sorry, I wouldn't hire Bradle if you paid me. I just don't think they're good attorneys. It's my opinion. Both of them have gotten some really shitty shit wrong and like easy shit wrong. And a lot of them have, both of them have spewed nonsensical bullshit just to pander. And that's not the kind of attorney I want. I want the attorney that knows their shit, and I want the attorney that's on top of their stuff, not one that's just pandering to people online just because they want to give something people want to hear. I don't want that kind of attorney, No worries, no worries. But I get it. I get what you mean. I totally get what you mean. 100%, I mean, I don't even think that he's just hated by many judges. I think he just doesn't do a good fucking job. He doesn't know how to do a good legal argument. His arguments are all narrative, and you cannot use narrative. You have to make a legal argument. The judge can't rule on narrative and you pointing fingers at everybody and calling everyone names and making a show out of it. The judge can only rule on what your legal argument is. That's it. He doesn't give legal arguments. He gives narratives or federal letters, which are not worth the paper they're written on. Knows their shit. Knows their goddamn shit. You know what I mean? But you would be better off with someone else, in my opinion. Yeah, it feels a little icky, especially when it's not. Here's the thing. Yannetti was a well-respected attorney here in Massachusetts before the Karen Read trial, and unfortunately now there is not that sort of high level of respect for him. And Alessi, you can tell he has never really argued criminal stuff because he does way too, like, he'll put a jury to sleep. Like he's got he might be smart, but at the same time he does too much. There's too much going on there. Like he's gotta bring it down. Like bring it down, Scarpiccio would be a great fucking attorney. Scarpiccio is probably one of the best attorneys around Boston. One of the top 10 in my opinion. She would be one of the top 10 in my opinion. If you were to hire someone, if I wanted to hire someone, that's who I would hire. If I couldn't get Hank, Rosemary, or Luke Ryan, those attorneys never fucking quit. All right, those are attorneys right there that will dig in and dig in and dig in and dig in and dig in until they get what they want. You know what I mean? That's who I would fucking hire. Just saying. That's who I'd hire. That is who I would hire. Yeah. I mean, she's done so many good cases. That lady. She's got a sharp legal brain. That's for sure. Let's see. All right, before I wrap this up, because I'm going to have 3 hours and 40 minutes, and I am starving like a hostage. I am hungry. I am not gotten to eat yet. I had breakfast, but I didn't have lunch or dinner. It's like not dinner time. Well, it's almost dinner time, but not quite. But I haven't eaten anything yet, so I'm starving. But before I do that, if anybody else would like to make a last-minute donation to the channel before I go, the information is on the screen. We have Venmo, Cash App, Revolut, Chime, PayPal. We have a link in the chat. It's at the top there, pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description of the video where you can click on it and use your credit or debit card, enter any amount. You can remain anonymous on any of the apps or ways to do it. And we have an Amazon wishlist, of course. I want to also thank you, the other people who donated already, the 2 anonymous people. And Matt, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Also, we thank, again, Art Deco for becoming a member and gifting 5 memberships. That is very, very kind of you. Beanie Gambini, as a lawyer, Jimbo says. Breakfast. Dang, girl. Love you, of course. Love you. I love all of you. We had a good chitty chat today. It's Sunday, so it's just kind of the do whatever day. And I am so digging my new desk. All right. We say thank you to Grave for my beautiful new desk. I have so much space. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this space. I can move my chair, I can go back, I can go forward, I can move my mic back, forward. No, it's secure. I have lots of space down here, so much space. I don't even know what to do with all of this space. I'm just like, go space. Like, I got my pens over, I got some drawers over here, right? I could probably put my Cricut over here. There's like a whole new section over here. I could put my Cricut there if I wanted, or I could put my Cricut here if I wanted. I could put my laptops down here, but I could put it over here if I wanted. I have so much space. I don't know what to do with myself with this space, you know? Ooh, girl, that sounds so good. Natasha's making ribs and green beans and twice baked potatoes and cornbread. I haven't had twice baked potatoes in so long, but they're so good. Anybody else like the broccoli and cheese baked potato with like some serious bacon on top? Wendy's got rid of it forever ago, and I was like so mad. Like, why would you get rid of that, Wendy's? It's delicious. What are you talking about, Wendy's? Bad, okay? I know, right? Probably will. I'll get all this stuff. I don't know what to do with this. Right? Like, this background has to be, I have to do something. I have to move my signs. They're going to have to go back here or something. Like, I don't even know what to do with it. Like, I'm so used to being like kitty cornered, you know what I mean? Like up against the wall, because that's where all my signs were. So I was so used to being like this way, right? That now I'm this way. And I don't know what to do with all the space that I have with this desk, because I have a small table. I didn't have a desk. I had a small table. So the table was like, everything was like touching each other. There was not that much space for everything. And like now there's space around everything and not everything's touching. And I'm like, this is amazing. I'm so excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's freaking amazing. It is amazing. All right. I love you all. So for all of you who catch me on the restream, I love your stinking faces. If you're watching me on the restream and you guys are just as important, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and I will see you guys. I know I know you can still see them, but I feel like they should be behind me. No, I feel like they should be behind me. But I'll see you guys tomorrow morning anyway, right? So it won't be too far. I'll see y'all in the morning. Everybody have a fantastic night. Bye. Bye-bye now.